What's going on, guys? This podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. And if you use my code RBP, you'll get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Guys, you can't beat the deal. Or if you click manscaped.com/RBP, it'll take you right to this page and it will apply the code automatically. See here, it says, congratulations, your discount 20% off plus free shipping from the Real Bodybuilding Podcast will be applied at checkout. And guys, I want to show you this because this thing right here is the beard trimmer. It's actually my favorite product they make. The entire beard kit. So we just click out of this right here. We go to products, and then we go to the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. If you go to this, it literally has everything. This beard shampoo and this brush and this balm I use every day. This is a beard oil. This is the balm and conditioner. I don't use those as much, even though they're great. But this brush, the beard oil, and the beard shampoo, and this trimmer have been absolute lifesavers. Guys, it's $140. You take 20% off that plus free shipping. Use my code RBP, or like I said, click the link, manscaped.com/RBP. Get the savings, guys. Get the free shipping. And honestly, your beard will never look better. Thanks, guys.
Sorry.
What's up, Ben?
Howdy.
It's the original bro chat, just me and you. We're going to talk about nothing.
Don't say that. You'll start a riot.
Hey, look, we're wearing the same oversized collection. How fucking how comfortable are these?
They are comfy,
right?
You know what? But there's no point in advertising it because you sold out. So what the fuck?
I'm not advertising. I'm just saying they're comfortable. I'm not trying to advertise. It's comfortable. Listen, I got to before the main man gets here.
I am the main man. What the fuck are you talking about before the main man gets here? I am here.
Check this out. I don't know if I should show him. I kind of want to show him, but I feel like we should also just drop it. These are the new SAMSON tees. I don't think he'll watch.
Don't just show me the packet. Come on.
I don't think he'll watch back the podcast. So I could show it to you, but I kind of want to show him.
Well, you can show him the packet at least, right?
I'll show him the back.
What's on the back? Oh, ooh,
Samson, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, your face looks lean.
Man, don't even get me started. Don't get me started.
How are you feeling, dude? You're running on low or what?
Oh man, that's the understatement. I ain't gonna lie.
Running on empty?
Oh yeah.
What?
It's I'm trying to smile, man. I'm glad to say smiling. I mean, it's nice to talk to you guys. So it definitely break away my last 3 weeks, being able to have some contact with the outside world.
I told you I've been purposely leaving you alone because I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think it's great for you to be able to sit here for 2 hours and like.
Nah. It definitely helps. And, it definitely helped me having that peace of mind to focus on just on doing this. And I ain't been the nicest person this prep. I honestly admit.
I can imagine. Well, but let me ask you this. So when you say you haven't been the nicest, because I've been there, right? I've been that grumpy, tired, dieting. Is it more being tired? Is it pressure? Is it hungry? Or is it everything, all of the above?
I mean, it's not pressure. It's you put pressure on yourself anyway, so that's normal. I think tired and hungry and aggressive is the main ones that you're just irritable.
Yeah.
Extremely so. And things that normally you just like, he's just him, and you almost shrug it off. They nig at you, and you have less control over your outbursts, where normally your common sense say, come on, man, just leave it, let it go. You're more inclining for a fight more than anything. So
yeah.
It's I mean, you get it. That's what comes with it. But it's not nice to be around people you care about when you're like that, because they will say something and they don't mean it that way at all, but you read it completely the wrong way, and you blow out at it, and you later on go, what the hell did I do that for? And you don't want to end up breaking bridges that wasn't meant to happen just because of where you are then. So
I've apologized to a lot of people after shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when the show's done, I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry. I was hungry. I was just
tired.
Yeah. So I've been there. I think a lot of people that are like, I think people that understand the sport or that are close to you probably they're always going to give you a pass, right?
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, it's like you try not to try not to use that as an excuse because they're going to give me a pass.
No, of course, anyway. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's hard. It's hard to control it, man. It's you try your best.
Yeah.
But there's just a situation like me in public right now is the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
Like this past 2-3 weeks, it's like I'm in a gym and it's like I'm almost just aggressively egging for a fight and egging for someone to get the fuck out of my way. Yeah. And that kind of mentality is like, it's great when you can take it out of the weight and go to town on it. But at the same time, it's not when you're in a public gym.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out.
Yeah. Get out to my place next time and just train.
Oh, honestly, honestly, for the first time this prep, I'm like, man, yeah, I want to own my own gym 100%. So I can't do this.
So let me ask you this, Samson, because I know when I was like in that mode, people just, I don't want to say I had a scowl on my face, but I made it kind of seem like I didn't want to talk to anybody. I had my hoodie up. I would I would kind of like say hi, but I would keep walking and not give a minute for them to talk and just say hi and keep going. So I know how that feels. Is it more because you're more successful that more people are coming up to you and it's getting to you, or is it more because you're pushing harder this prep and it's getting to you, or both?
I mean, it's both. Because normally I'm pushing harder and you get that feeling anyway. But most people don't know who you are, and they just kind of like they stare clear anyway.
Yeah.
When you just look at the pissed off black guy in the gym, they stare clear. But when people sort of they know you and they follow your Instagram, they sort of know what you're going through. As nice as it is, they want to come say, hey, good luck at the show and everything, which is nice. Oh, how's the prep going? Which is nice. But when you're in the gym, it's a different mindset. I'm sorry, but you go to the gym and you train aggressively. You train angrily. And you're in that zone of being angry. So when someone comes up to you and they tap you on the shoulder and they want to say something, you don't kind of smile and say, hey, how you doing? You're almost like, what the fuck do you want?
You're like, why are you
bothering me? Yeah. And it's wrong, but that's kind of mindset you're in. And so things like that, when you have more people that do come up to you and want to say those things, and you get in that, okay, now it's really kind of getting to me sort of thing. So that's just one side of it. I mean, good thing that my local gym now, I think this prep they've given me like the wide berth because they solved.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, Samson, I have a question. Why don't, what time of the day do you go train at? Because I know a lot of pros will train late at night or early in the day.
I used to train late at night.
Yeah.
That got busy as hell.
Like what time? When you say late at night, what time?
Like 8 o'clock, 7 p.m. So
yeah.
That was just busy. And then I switched it up and I started training earlier in the morning, like after the third meal, like probably about, mid-afternoon sort of thing, because most people are at work.
Yeah.
Gym got busy at that time all of a sudden. Now you get to the gym and I'm like, wait, hold on. Is anybody working? What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
gym is cheaping. So it was one thing. And then, they probably watch this and they probably get pissed off. But the one thing that really got to me this prep, and I was like, ooh, tripods.
The what?
Tripods.
Oh, tripods.
Tripods in the middle of the gym floor.
Yeah. You need your own gym, brother. That's what it sounds like. You're at the point. You know what? All your dreams of owning a McLaren are gonna have to wait till you open your own place.
This prep definitely was eye opening. It's kind of like, man, the thought of like you said, Ben, when I was staying at yours, where you go in, you turn the lights on in the gym, you turn your own music on, you focus, you get trained, you do what you do, and you leave. That honestly was almost the biggest longing this whole prep. I was like, man, I wouldn't kill for that right now.
Well, I imagine someone like, you guys know, like Chris Bumstead just opened his own gym, and I imagine it's even like crazier for him because he's Chris and he's got like 20 million fucking followers. So I imagine that's probably the main reason why he opened his own spot too, so he could go and just focus and do his thing.
Is that private facility?
I'm sorry,
it's private.
Yeah, it's just
private.
his.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's all well and good owning your own gym, but then if you open it to the public, because that it's kind of what Flex used to do, right? Flex had the Dragons Den from like 12 till 2.
Yeah,
it was closed. It was like no one coming the fuck in.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, but that's what. Yeah, so that's what Chris did. And I imagine, like, I haven't talked to him about it, but I imagine it's for the exact same reason.
Yeah.
That because it's not like, someone like Chris or someone like you, Samson, you're not like, both of you are not like mean people.
No.
But when you're in that zone,
yeah,
you want. I kind of feel like your training was similar to mine. You train with emotion instead of, like, some people train, like me and Ben have talked about this. Ben, you train more like less emotional and more technical, right? That's why you take longer breaks and you kind of like, you have a more technical rhythm. You don't care what music is playing. You have a more technical, you have a more technical outlook on your workout.
I mean, sure. Yeah. For the argument's sake.
I'm just saying, I'm just, I don't know if I'm wrong. Tell me. That's kind of the impression I got from when we talked about this before. Cause like for me, for example, the reason I say that, for me, like, I'll feed off like what music is playing, and my rhythm has to be a certain speed. If I'm taking too long, it'll get me out of the zone. Like,
it depends where my headspace is. It completely depends.
Yeah. But I'm saying on a regular basis, like for me, on an everyday basis, like part of the reason I train faster is because I'm training emotionally and I like to be in a rhythm when I'm working.
Yeah.
And then the music matters to me because I'll take energy from like certain songs or whatever.
Yep.
So like that kind of thing, or, or I'll be picturing like previous shows and like that'll give me energy. So like I train, a lot of my energy for my workouts comes from my emotion. Yeah. Whereas I think, Ben, when we talked about it before, it's like for you said you don't care what song is playing. You don't.
Well, I tap in. So I think one of the things is I tap in and out of the emotion.
Okay. So when you're actually lifting, you tap in.
Yeah. Because Luke and I would be like fucking around, and then it would be like 5-6 plates on a squat, and then at that point when I'm walking up to the bar, now it's like complete fucking laser. Like
okay, so that's the difference. So I think Samson, and you can correct me if I'm wrong,
probably have it more extended through the whole session, right?
For me, it's like if I take a break during my between sets, I have trouble coming back to where I was. So I just want to stay in that zone the whole time.
Yeah, so it's like the minute you walk in and the workout starts until you're done, you're in that zone. Nothing, you don't want anything to take you out of that.
Yeah,
my workouts are similar to American football. Right.
Yeah, it's like you go and then you
it's like a play.
No, but
you guys are like soccer.
So for me, it was like, me and Paul used to go into the gym and we'd walk on the treadmill for 5 or 10 minutes. And we would talk and laugh and get all the shit out of the way. And then as soon as the workout started, we wouldn't talk until the end. You just kind of going all the way through it, right? So I can understand why you're saying what you're saying, Samson, because like if you're in that spot and someone's constantly stopping you to say hello or whatever they're saying that's polite, it takes you away from that, and then you got to get and you got to come back to it.
This is why, like, you got the big. I mean, like, I'm training with my training partner, and we both got big headphones on. We're in the zone of music. We don't say a word to each other the whole workout.
Right.
If you say what workout's next, we just kind of use sign language like that one.
Yeah.
We just move. It's like this hidden sign language of what we're doing next, and it's like drop set. No, superset. And it's like silent. I was like, we don't talk, we just get it doing. And until we finally finish, and we'll be like, oh, okay, I'm fucked. What about you? Yeah, I'm fucked. Okay, now we're good to go.
Right.
So you almost like that the whole time. So when people sort of like, they, I mean, even in middle of set, you literally wait until you catch a breath or wait for the other person to finish, and then you're jumping in again.
Right.
So when you're in that point, even when somebody comes in and they think, oh, he's in the break, I'm just going to talk to him or say something to him now, you're still in that mindset, because the minute you stop the set, you're already concentrating, okay, come on, get your breath back. Let's go again. You're already you're in that zone the whole time.
Right.
And I understand, obviously, when you're in a gym and people know you and stuff like that, they use the opportunity to want to say hello and they want to be, wish you good luck and stuff like that. But it's almost, this is why I hate myself, because I know that that's their intent.
Yeah.
But because you're in that zone, you almost your first reaction is always an aggressive one.
Yeah. Well, you know what used to help me, Samson, is when I was like couple weeks out or something like that, and I really didn't want to take the time to stop, I would just say, whoever came to grab me, I would just say, hey man, I'm going to be doing cardio afterwards. Do you mind just come talk to me when I'm on treadmill? And then they would leave me alone, and then I could keep on doing what I'm doing. Because I was like, because I know after if I walk for 10 minutes, they can come, they can talk to me, we can shoot the shit, and it's okay because I'm just walking on the treadmill. But it would get me.
Difficulty, like part of the difficulty is like, especially with Samson, the way he has his Instagram is like, these people feel like they know you as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that's more like because you're actually talking, and when you're in your house and you're own and you're just talking to them, it's much easier. And you are a nice guy, and like in the off season, that's one thing. But at this point,
you don't have, because they know you from that. Yeah, because they know you from that, and when they see you in the gym, that's the person they're coming to meet. But they don't understand. Like you always say, look, that's why I have the headphones. I mean, I have to do. My headphone I put do not disturb on it.
Saw that.
So I'm just so people, and it actually works because a lot of people actually see and they're okay, I'm just gonna leave them alone. So once I get in the gym, I put that on, everybody just stay clear and they just okay.
I'm gonna make you a shirt that says "Do Not Disturb" that you can wear.
I would wear that, honestly. I would wear that because it's just like you get in that zone and everything else. And I always say to people, look, even Mel even told him that, look, he's a dick in the gym. If you want to meet him, don't meet him in the gym. It's the worst place you could possibly meet him.
Meet him after.
Meet him afterwards. Meet him before.
But if you think about it, you're at work, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. So with the fucking lawyers are in their office, you're like, hey, you're like, come and have a chat with you in your office. No, fuck off. Like, go away.
All right, listen, wait. More important. Let's put it.
Oh yeah.
Let's make Samson happy. I was gonna surprise you with this next week.
Okay.
But I'm horrible at giving surprises, so I'm just going to surprise you now. So these just came in today for me, but they'll be available for sale next week. So this was supposed to be a surprise, so I'm totally fucking it up, Samson. I apologize.
Yeah. Let's see. What is it?
I can't help it.
Oh, no way. No way. No way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I had Mel take this.
Oh my! Oh damn!
We had a few different.
Come see this.
We had a few different.
Way.
We had a few different versions.
Holy crap, dude!
But I had to get my designer to he had to change your penis because it was too big.
You had to take the bulge out.
So I had to Photoshop. I'm like, Photoshop this out. It's too fucking.
Dude, oh my god,
that's the back.
Shit. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that's the back.
Man, that is beautiful.
Yeah, these are going to be out next week. I'm super excited about it.
Dude, thanks so much. That is so. Oh my god,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
wow. Yeah, that's sick.
It's pretty cool. So we're gonna have a couple versions. Those will be out next week. Oh wait, I forgot to show you the best. Forgot to show you the best part. You can't really. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on camera, but
was that the lion emblem on the sleeve? Oh, it is and all.
Wait.
Oh, that's cool. That's
cool. Oh man.
And it's not a print. It's like a patch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh man, that's I'm lost for words.
Yeah. So now you can be happy because I had you all worked up from the gym shit. So now you can be like excited.
Oh dude,
so those are coming next week. And we also have I don't know if this one is a surprise. I think you know about this already. We have your intro coming next week.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know it was next week. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's the
pineapple. Next week is gonna be crazy.
The pineapple intro comes next week as well. So
that pineapple tastes so good.
So I'm excited. Man. I made sure I got my versions of these so that I could wear it.
So you can wear it. Because I'm gonna wear it. I want to wear it all week, man. I'm like, oh damn. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, Samson, listen. Let's go over your prep.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, question. You're still not weighing yourself?
No.
Does Mel know your weight?
No, not until we fly out Sunday. So Sunday morning, she's gonna find out.
So nobody knows your weight this whole prep?
Nobody knows my weight this whole prep. And like I've said before, this is what we always do in prep. And people say, yeah, but I don't, it's not necessary.
Oh, I don't listen. It worked for you for the Arnold. So I'm like,
yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where we go by look and we go by, okay, how tight you getting week by week. And regardless of obviously anything else, that's the main focus is we need you to be harder than you were before.
Yeah.
So we literally have to go what we see and actually working on that. So when it comes to weight, we just like, you already know I'm a big guy. So as long as we know you're chiseling away and the fat's coming off week by week, I don't really need to know what the number says. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't,
Well,
for me, it works against me more than it works for me.
No, I know. Well, I was like, me and Ben were talking about this because he's coaching Hunter, obviously. And
yeah,
I think, Ben, I don't know if you mind me saying this, but Hunter was kind of playing those mind games with himself until Ben told him to stop looking at the scale. And then all of a sudden he got way better.
Yeah.
Right. Like, well, wasn't that, Ben, wasn't that around the time where, like, because I remember you were having a little bit of issue before Tampa, I think. Wasn't it before Tampa, around 5 weeks out?
About 5 weeks out. Yeah. 5 weeks from Tampa. Then we put it up. And
you cut out the scale.
Mm-hmm.
But
I didn't weigh him until I think 10 days out. I got a look, but Liv sent me the weight. He didn't see it. Yeah. I just took a look at it, and then we went back again. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you, Ben. So when you started that at 5 weeks, was Liv still checking the scale but just not telling him?
Yeah, he didn't see it.
So she would check this. So she would check the scale. Was she telling you, or you didn't know?
She would take. I would text her, and she would tell me. Just because I was monitoring some things, then when I would like come, I knew, because right before Tampa, about 3 weeks out, there was a look there that I wanted to kind of maintain, and then we played with the fullness, and I was like, okay, let me just see, because I did want to have some information from a coaching perspective, like to correlate a look and the weight together. So
of course, yeah.
But I only did that once I was starting to get happy with, okay, that's there, like we're getting within a margin of it now. I don't want to go I don't want him to drop.
So you use it
flatter.
So you use the weight more as a measuring stick. You're like, okay, he's at a look where I like it. What's that weight? Because that's where I want to keep him.
Yeah, and then once I started playing with fullness, and then during peak week, I could like correlate and be like, okay, we're right, we're getting close. So yeah, it was just, and then I also get like, I guess, nerdy with it, and I want to know.
Yeah. For my sake. So Samson, I don't think it's like, this is 2 top 10 Olympians.
Yeah.
Potential, top 5 Olympians that are, because I think people need to understand that you guys are still fucking normal people. Like you still have, you still have
same insecurity, same mindset, the same, especially when you're going for something so high pressure like a show like this, you tend to have points play in your head, because like, if I've been checking my weight, all skills, I mean, look, everybody say they want me tighter for this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then week by week, I'm checking my weight and the scales are not showing me the right numbers. They're not going down.
Right.
I'll start beating myself up. I'll start, fixating on that and fixating on number and fixating on everything negative to do with that. And it will start affecting every other work of my life.
Yeah.
Every other part of my life will start being affected, because I'm just, to my own knowledge, I'll be like, I'm not improving. The weight's not showing me I'm improving.
Because when you're in that state, and this is what I told Lee Priest when we were talking about this kind of thing, is pro bodybuilders don't need coaches because they don't have the knowledge. They need coaches because they're not rational when they're dieting.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
So it's kind of like if you were 330 in the off season, and then you're looking at the scale and now you're 270, you're like, how the fuck did I lose 60 pounds? Right.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, nobody cares if you're fucking 270 or 330, as long as you look incredible.
Exactly. And this is the same. This is why I had to learn to not go with that, and like, okay, the prep start, okay, no more, you don't need to know. Now focus on trying to get as hard as you can without that.
Well, also on the reverse side of it, like you said, like if you're 330 and you want to be 290 on stage, and you enter a phase of your prep where, and this is not abnormal for you, let's say you're kind of start growing a little bit, so now the scale's not dropping at all, but you're looking better,
but you're seeing that the numbers in your head, it's not going down.
In your mind, I'm like, fuck, I've been 305 for the last 3 weeks. What's happening? And you're fucking,
as well, like you'll change compounds as well during the prep.
Exactly.
That changes the game. Like all of a sudden you're fuller and holding more nitrogen retention. Like it changes everything. So
it changes everything.
I wonder how many other bodybuilders, because I know this kind of thing affects a lot of people. Yeah. But I wonder how much, but nobody ever does, like, I shouldn't say nobody. I've never heard of anybody doing what you and Hunter are doing as far as not looking at a scale. Everybody I've ever known, even though they know it bothers them,
they'll check it anyway.
They still check. I wonder now, after everybody hearing, oh, fucking Samson's at the very top and Hunter's at the very top, and these guys don't even check their fucking weight. Maybe I'm going to try that. I wonder how many guys will try that, like in the amateur level or even other pros.
You know how many arguments I have with like my amateurs? We're like, oh, I have to get to like 260. I'm like, why? Why do you have to get to why? Like they're in the office now. Yeah, I don't want to prep until I hit 260. I'm like, I can make you 260 in a weekend.
It doesn't mean you're good composition.
Give me,
It doesn't mean you're
give
good
me some,
composition.
like, oh fuck, like I'll give you a shit ton of insulin and pizza, and we'll get you real heavy real quick. But like, I don't know what to tell you. So it's this weird logic where it's like, in fact, do you know what? I tell you, someone who did this long before I worked with him was Dean.
He stopped looking at
I
scale?
remember, no, he never weighed himself. So I remember one time he was going to Portugal when he turned pro. He was going to Portugal. I said, "Hey, take your scale with you." Yeah, and he went, because I was having him weigh.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah,
he was like, "Hey, I don't." He goes, "The scale's at the gym." I'm like, "What do you mean? Where's your?"
I don't have scales at home.
I don't have one. I'm like, "Wait, so what have you been doing all this time?" He said, "I just look in the mirror, and if I'm bigger, if I'm full, I'm flat, I just go off the look." I'm like, "That's fucking bodybuilding."
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I personally look, I don't think the scale is useless.
It's not useless.
I think it's a good, what I tell people is, look, there's a number of different measuring sticks. To me, it's like the scale, the mirror, your clothing, and your look in the gym. Like these things to me are all measurements, right? But if one is fucking you up, then it's better to eliminate it. So
you know what used to play mind games with me was my clothing. Because when I would diet, like shit would it turned like something that was tight on me would end up like this on me, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm not even filling out like a 3XL." And then I'd go and train, and I'd get a pump, and then I'd take off, and I'm like, "Holy!" I look so much bigger because I'm leaner and I'm harder. But this shit, my dimensions, it's like. It was like 2015. I was in Gold's Gym, like 10 days out from the Olympia, and Dexter Jackson walked past me, and he looked. Like this tracksuit looked like he borrowed it from his like bigger brother, right? It was hanging off of him. And I'm like, oh my, and Dexter's like not a tall person, right? So I'm like, that's fucking tiny. I'm like, what the fuck did he do? It's the first time I'd ever seen Dexter in person. And I literally was like, walked past me, and I'm like, this little man is gonna do the Olympia. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm twice the size of this guy. Yeah. 10 days later, I'm there at Olympia. He comes out, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Hey, what's the weirdest? Let me ask you guys this. What's the weirdest measuring stick you've used for being shredded? Is there something really fucked up that you've like, because I got a really fucked up one. I gotta
say, is your force gonna get baggy?
Okay. When I'm showering.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say, right? Yeah, it's like when you're in the off season, it's hard to clean everything.
Yeah.
And when you're shredded, it's already open. That's like my measuring stick. It's like it's there. It's like it's just
I think mine's like the bottom of my feet, and if I'm sitting when I'm lean, like I can't sit. I'll get like uncomfortable within like a minute, like the time it takes me to get uncomfortable when I've got to move because my ass is getting numb.
It's bony,
like the leaner I get. Yeah. That's kind of like where I go with it.
Anyways, so Samson, the prep, no scale.
No.
How much lower is your food now than the Arnold, or is it lower at all?
Oh man, it's lower. Everything has been drastically
lower. You were eating like 2 eggs for breakfast.
I know. Still we kept that, and then we lowered everything else. And basically, the only carbs I was truly really having is around training, before and after training. Everything else is like, okay, take it away. We even took. I mean, normally before, I don't know, I was having 6 meals a day. We actually brought it down to 5 meals this time.
Did you really?
And, wow. And it's like I have my last meal at 9 p.m. and then I don't have breakfast till 9 a.m.
Oh my god!
And that's you're doing intermittent fasting.
That's pretty much what it is. I was doing it involuntarily. Like I didn't even think about it. It's just happening because I'll wake up in the morning at 6. I'll do cardio for an hour and then do posing for another hour. And then
you're trying to like
eating up before I have to have breakfast, and you're almost shaking and then your breakfast is just 3 eggs and coffee. So you're not even, and literally I eat that and I pass out. And I was like, okay, until 3 hours later, I'm actually having the first food with carbs in it. I'm just placid.
I remember doing things like that, Samson, and you'd be like, first of all, you can't sleep because you're hungry.
No, you can't sleep.
So I remember waking up at like 4 a.m. and being like, I can't get out of bed because it's way too early. So I would literally sit in my bed for like an hour on the phone or something.
Yep.
And finally at like 5 or 6, I would get up and like do cardio. Like you said, I find things to do. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should do abs. I'll like I'll pose, whatever. It's still only like 8 o'clock now. I'm like, fuck. Then, like you said, you're shaking, but by the time you eat your breakfast, you're so hungry. I remember taking the first bite of my food and being like, because for me it would be like a quarter cup of oatmeal and like 8 egg whites or something. So like I would eat the first spoonful and I'd be like, while I was eating, I'm like, I'm still going to be starving when I'm done this.
It's like a game. You don't know which way to play it, right? You're like, do I get this in as quick as I can?
Yeah.
Or do I slow it down and make it last?
And when you get to the last 2 bites, you're like, fuck.
You're like, dude, I don't want to get like dude, this is the first time where I'll have the 3 eggs and I'll actually lick the plate.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that.
The plate.
I've done that.
I'm like, look, any crumbs, anything that's left, let me just make it, get some more out of it. And you finish it and you're literally going, I just didn't even eat anything. What the hell? And you're still so like, your body's still like just shaking and you're like that.
Yeah.
And I sit on the sofa and I'm trying to watch TV and I just pass out, fall asleep.
Yeah.
I'm just like, even trying to think cognitively, I can't put it together. My mind is just not there. And I'm like, okay, this is a different level of
I'm gonna throw Denise under the bus here because obviously she did her 2 shows this summer or the end of the summer. So I'd make because I always cook, so I make her a last meal and I give it to her. She's in bed and we'll be eating watching British Bake Off or something. And I'm just sitting there watching it, and then I just hear this noise. I look across and she's got her bowl and she's like, So I'm like,
that's when you know the hunger is real. That's when the hunger is real. Like, this one is like you can't even pretend to you know how you try to scrape with a fork. And he's like,
not enough.
I just want to go to town on it. There's no point anymore. No, get rid of the dignity, get rid of everything else. I'm hungry.
Summer's seen me do that with a bowl of oatmeal because she literally looked at me and I was like, I had a Tupperware. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, you have no idea how hungry I am. And licking this bowl is not going to help at all, but I'm doing it anyway.
But it's just doing it.
Yeah. It's like normally with a meal, you'll go your hunger is this level. And then after a meal, it drops to here. When you're that deep in a prep, my hunger goes from here. It goes up after. This is fucked.
So you're at 5 meals a day.
Mm-hmm.
1 sec. My dog's crying. I gotta let him out. 1 sec.
You're like this, Samson. I changed Hunter's diet the other day just to find a little push. It was a rest day. I was like, he texted me back and was like, I think you missed some things off my diet. I was like, 0 carbs. Zero. I gave him a 0 carb. Well, I gave him a 0 carb day, and he's like, I've never done a 0 carb day ever. I'm like, well, this is it.
That's the first time. That's the first time to get in.
All right. Yeah. So, food is lower. Is cardio higher or same?
Cardio is higher.
How much cardio are you doing?
So we're getting up to 45 minutes to an hour cardio. But what I notice is what we tend to do, what actually really change a lot, is the posing we do afterwards.
When do you do your posing? After cardio or after training?
Straight after cardio.
Both. How many do you split the cardio in 2 sessions or 1?
No, 1 session.
Okay.
So straight after I finish cardio, and then we're literally at the posing for 45 minutes straight.
Mm-hmm.
Each pose holding it 30 seconds each, going in round after round after round.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of it, I remember when we first started this when I was about 6-5 weeks out, I'll be sweating after it.
Yeah.
This last 2 weeks, no drop.
Good.
You just to the point where you just like doing it now is like, okay, let's get it done. We know this.
Have you gotten to the point where the conditioning for it is like easy, like you're cruising through your practice?
You just cruise through it. Like you know, even like this morning, because Milos gets on the Skype call every morning when we do the posing every other day, and he sits through it, and he's just like, he got to the point now where it's like it's almost like we just do it because we know it's another day of doing it. So he's almost like everybody's like, come on in, and then they'll count out every single pose I go through and everything else, and it's got to the point where I remember holding a pose for like 10 seconds was like hard, a struggle. And then we knocked 10 seconds out, then went to 20. Knocked that out. Then we went up to 30. And at that point, you were just like, now 30 is just like, okay.
Good. That's good to hear, Samson, because honestly, like, you know, if everybody's in shape, the top 5 or 6, like the way I see it, it's like you, Hottie, Derek, Nick, Andrew. Like that top 6, you know, Hunter could cruise in there between him and Andrew. So there's some play, but those top 4 or 5, 6 are close.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to shuffle you guys a lot.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, this one we know it's coming. So it's almost like everything.
I think it's going to be like the Arnold though. Like, remember how much they shuffled you to Arnold?
Honestly, and the thing is, it makes it fair and it makes it fun. It makes it like, okay, who really prepare for this? And I think I've never posed this much for a show before.
I think it's going to pay off though.
I've never, and honestly, even now, I look at the conditioning that you can display, both fitness and look wise.
Yeah,
it's just I've never been this fit before.
Really?
As a big body, I've never been even close.
When you say fit, you mean like endurance wise, or do you mean
endurance and conditioning, like both? I've just literally, honestly, this is one reason why I'm genuinely curious what my weight actually is, because I was thinking, if I was going to go just by what I feel like, and nothing else, I'll be like, I'm a lot lighter than I was at Arnold. I'll be like, I must be 10, 20 pounds lighter.
How do you feel? Let me ask you this, Samson. How do you feel in the gym, strength wise or endurance wise, compared to the Arnold? Are you just as strong?
Stronger, just as strong.
Stronger.
Just as strong.
Okay.
The only point, this is what I always kind of used to gauge. I think when we train, your energy level goes down, but your strength don't. So if you get in like bench pressing and everything, I can still hit 4 plates aside and still bench it out. But before where I can hit 15 or 10 to 15 reps easily, now I struggle to get to 10. But doesn't mean I have the strength to push it. It just means I don't have energy to keep it up.
I've been there. It's almost like when you're depleted, you just don't have the endurance to get the there's no that thing in the tank to get the extra reps.
To get that reps in. So that's what I find it. But in terms of just the sheer strength, it's nothing has moved even a little bit. If anything, I probably got stronger, but not.
Let me ask you this: when you, and for people wondering, Samson hasn't sent me photos, so I'm getting the same information you guys are getting. When you're looking at yourself in the mirror, do you feel same size as Arnold or bigger? Like, have you put, because you've literally you've put on size every show, so it's like, are we going to
honestly, I genuinely, because remember when I said remember when we did the Arnold, and I said I was prepping for the Arnold Olympia, and I said, remember, I was wearing 4XL tops, hostile tops all through, and I never changed.
Yeah. Same
thing now. And it's like, okay, the thing is, but this is what I'm saying, like, I feel smaller.
Yeah.
But then everywhere I go, man, dude, you're fucking big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks. Hey.
Yeah.
But, and there's no signs telling me, there's no signs out of the way I feel that tells me I'm lighter than what I was.
Yeah, well, there's nothing.
But that's a good thing. The position you're in, though, it wasn't the size that was stopping you from being placing higher. So
yeah, exactly.
So conditioning, you're saying, is better. Posing is better. Size is going to be similar or bigger. So it's like a new Samson we're expecting.
This is what we always bring to the stage, right? Every time we get on stage, it's always different to what you ever see.
Something a little better, yeah.
And this is one thing that I've always saw President at that point, that I don't want ever to look, especially if I've had some kind of break in between two shows. I want to be able to always put both pictures together and go, this is one look, this is one look. It's almost night and day. You don't have to sort of like pick out, there's a little different. I want it to be like clear as day. And we've always kind of managed to do that from show to show. And I think this is no different. I mean, we're doing the same thing every time we prep for a show. We take our Arnold look, we take the look from the Olympia, we put the pictures next to each other, and we see what's improved. And it's uncanny, because this time, because normally I'm never shocked about where I look. we're so used to, like, I'm just used to it. It's like, okay, you see yourself every day, you know what I mean? But this is the first time where Milos actually sent me two most muscular from the Arnold a week out from the show, and what we looked like last week, and he put them side by side and sent it to me. And we both he had to call me straight away and go, are you seeing that? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm seeing. And I love
how excited Milos gets.
Yo, man, he's definitely excited about it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting, because honestly, I know that I've never been this good before.
So Samson, do you mind if I ask you some questions that don't involve you? Like, do you mind if I?
Of course. All right.
So let me ask you some questions you can answer as a fan instead of as a competitor.
Yeah. Do
you think Derek will be good enough to surpass Hottie after seeing some of the updates that we've seen? Because okay, no. Well,
let me tell you, look, I'm doing it off logic.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
He beats everybody from the back. We already know that.
Who does?
Derek,
yeah. Yeah.
He beats everybody from back. We already know that. It was never the problem for him to be a better back.
Sure.
Where he always lost, where he lost to Hardy was being that dense and hard from the front,
right,
and the side. Now, unless he's drastically improved to the point where he can catch up to that density. And remember, it's not size, it's not mature, it's literally that maturity and that density from the front and the side. Unless he has something to answer for that, it's going to be the same results as last time. And that's only my logical thinking about it. And that's it.
Look, it makes sense because we've been seeing a lot of updates from Derek, but most of the updates I've seen, and I don't know if you or Ben have seen something different, but most of them have been from the back.
Yeah.
We haven't seen, I haven't seen a lot of side or front updates, and that's pretty much what we're talking about.
And this is the point where it's like we judge off our weaknesses, we're not judge off our strengths. And what happens is, from a fan, you're looking at someone's strength, you go, oh my God, look at his arms, oh my God, look at his back, oh my God. But as a judge, you're going, okay, we know he has a good back. It's like me looking at me and going, well, we know he's got big legs. You know he's got good legs.
Yeah.
What else you got? He needs to be more conditional. He needs to have better hamstring, or he needs to have better shoulder, he needs to have better back. So they're looking for that improvement, not the ones we've already seen you good at.
Okay, so go ahead, Ben.
The last I saw of Derek's legs, they looked like they were holding a lot more size than previous. But again, around 5 weeks out is when last year they were looking good, and then he had to push and he lost some volume in his quads, it seemed.
I think you're only as strong as your weakest body part, like Samson said. So the same thing would, everybody can show gains in the off season, but I think it was Lee Priest or Milos. I can't remember who said it on the podcast, but they said once the water, it might've been you, Ben, actually, I'm not sure who said it, but they said, once the water goes, once the last week is done and they've dropped the water, then you can see what's left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming Derek's going to be bigger everywhere, but does that mean his legs from the front still won't be up to par because he's grown up top as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost about balancing.
Yeah.
Balancing the physique out.
Yeah. So, okay. So you think Hottie will beat Derek?
That's the only reason, because I'm only going off what we know right now.
Well, also,
and I'm going off what
did you see the update that Hottie put up from 8 weeks out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
So what about
that? Doesn't count for much at 8 weeks out.
Well, I'm just saying his conditioning at 8 weeks out was pretty wild. So,
yeah, but
right?
This is another thing.
Hottie's never been.
Hottie's only known for conditioning. So you being
yeah.
surprised of his conditioning at 8 weeks out is like,
yeah, you already know it's coming. Yeah.
You know it's coming. He's never gonna. No one in this world can ever say he's gonna be off.
Okay, I'll give you another one, Samson. Brandon looks like he's gonna be better this year than last year.
Yeah.
Do you think Brandon can get back into the top 3 or potentially win the show?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think?
The reason why is this, right?
Yeah.
We remember when Brandon, was it 2019 where he did the Arnold and he did Olympia, and he looked the way he looked then.
Yeah.
I don't think Brandon's age enough that he can't get that look again.
Right. I agree with that.
And because if he brings that look again, it now has a lot of people, there's a lot of questions to be answered for that. Yeah. And that all of a sudden now changes the whole ball game and the whole perspective a bit. Yeah. Can he do it? And if he does, now we all have to have an answer for that.
Abdullah seems to think that Brandon Curry is this generation's Dexter. Like, he doesn't seem to be losing a step with his age. Like, he's still carrying the same amount of muscle he carried 2-3 years ago.
So I would say that. But we'll see. The thing is, the problem with that is you got to be improving as well, because this is the thing is other people are, and if you're not, it's good to be staying the same and holding that look for year after year. But people from behind will pass you if you don't step it up.
Right. That makes sense. So what about Nick and Andrew, 2 guys you competed at the Arnold? Obviously Nick is going to be trying to, they told Nick he was too flat, so Nick is going to come in bigger, obviously. And then Andrew, they liked the way Andrew looked at the Arnold, and then he kind of perfected it in Texas. Yeah. So is Andrew going to be in the top 6 this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think that top 6 is one of those shows where you're going to see a lot of unpredictability in that whole top 6 lineup, because remember last year, if the show runs late, even a little bit, guys fade, guys flatten off, things are so close now in between us that a little bit of slip or something that's unpredictable will switch one guy to the next.
Right.
So when you're kind of looking at it like that, in a world where things literally are unpredictable that much, it's so close, man. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give an example for that. Like, even if somebody eats something that doesn't agree with them necessarily, and it makes them bloated.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it throws off your entire, you might still be conditioned, but it might throw off your look.
Throws off everything. Yeah.
Stomach sticking out now. It's like small things like that can happen.
Yep. And it could be a case where we come out first. Everybody's like, yeah, oh my God, did you see him? He looks freaking spot on. You start posing.
Yeah.
By third round, all of a sudden that look is changing.
I mean, look, I've been through this myself. When you have, how many guys are at the Olympia? 20?
Yeah.
So you have, like, if you come out, first, and you have to wait for 20 guys to go, your look could be very different in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Everybody gets a minute. That happened to me. I went out first round because my last name's Abiad. So I went out first
round and then wait till
I probably looked the best ever. I remember we loaded that year with insulin. I probably looked the best ever. And then everybody, there was like 20 guys, something like that. Everybody went through. Then we came out for comparisons. It looked like I didn't even diet.
Yeah.
And I remember trying to pump up to get back out, and I couldn't feel anything.
You couldn't feel anything.
Yeah, it was like, fuck. So yeah, a lot of things can happen.
This is one of the problems I find with like loading with insulin is the look. You can get a better
very
look, but it's more volatile.
It's more fleeting.
Yeah,
it literally is so fleeting.
Yeah, it's
yeah. And this is always.
And you got to remember, like, it's also like you said something about that backstage and shows running late, and it's like you can have everyone nailed down, everyone could be perfect, but then all of a sudden one or two of these athletes start getting a little more nervous, the cortisol, adrenaline starts dumping on them, they start getting, and you get other guys that are like maybe the vets are a little more experienced, can
more relaxed about it,
calm themselves down.
I think the guys that get through that, this is why I always liked Hani's strategy and John's strategy. There was never any fucking trickery. We would, like, the first week, they would have a plan of how I was going to load. It was all pretty, like, I don't want to say simple.
Within the lines.
No simple, but straightforward.
It was very predictable. Like, they knew exactly what was going to happen to my body the next day.
Yep.
And that way, even if you have to sit back there for 3 hours, like, they kind of know.
It's not, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think this is the whole idea, is like, because people have all these like strategies they want to do for the peak week and all these different. I think this is where it all goes wrong. It's like week after week, all through the prep, you're pretty much on a routine regimen, bang on every single point. You probably know what you look at any point of the day, and you can predict that. So when you come to peak week, why throw in things that are on variables that you don't normally have and you can't predict? And I think this is where things tend to be like, because remember, you're already going to be your everything's going to be all up here anyway. Your mood, your anxiety, everything's going to be up here anyway. For you to then throw in something into the mix that is so unpredictable, it's a call for disaster. You're literally trying to keep the look like you've always have and keep the meals like you've always had throughout your whole prep.
Dude,
nothing changes.
I remember John told me what we were going to do for peak week it was like the Sunday before the show.
Yeah.
So it was a week out. And he's like, I'm like, what are we going to do for peak week? He's like, all you're going to do is add 50 grams of carbs a day starting Monday. And then we're going to walk on stage. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm so fucking depleted. We're going to add 50 grams of carbs a day. What the fuck are you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, listen, man, I don't know. He's like, just trust me. I'm like, all right, I'm going to say a fucking word. I'm going to do what you say. And it worked like clockwork.
Perfectly.
Because every time he added 50 grams of carbs, it's almost like my body got hungrier.
Yeah.
And I would deplete more water, but then we would add 100 grams the next day, then 150 grams. So by Friday, I was up like 300 grams of carbs, but my body had started to soak it all up. But I was still flushing water because it was so slow. Yeah. We didn't even take a diuretic for that show, and it was one of the best looks of my career. Yeah. But it was also mentally, I was completely calm because everything was just so simple leading up to the show.
Yeah, and I think this is it. Like, it's having that is. I mean, this one is one thing. Is like I already said, like, to Milos and Mel, that next week we want to keep it as similar to what I have at home as we've always done. I don't want anything to be different at all.
Right.
Keep it that simplicity, and they understand that, and they've always said, look, if you have something that you haven't had before, you don't touch it.
Yeah.
If it's not sauce you haven't had before, we don't use it. If it's something that women don't, we don't try it.
You know, that just made me think of, remember at the Arnold, we went to American Barbell and they were like,
yeah,
Samson wanted to do a cold plunge the day before the Arnold. I'm like, Samson.
I was like, shit, let's go for it.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it might not be a bad idea, but I'm like, it might not be a bad idea, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think.
No one risk it. That probably was a good bet as well, because if we had done something that messed it up at that point, I wake up next morning going, holy shit, what happened?
Yeah. I was laughing. You posted that picture of you in Egypt.
Yeah.
You went riding on a camel.
Yeah. The thing is, like, my one thing is like this. It's hard because when you're getting closer and closer to the show, your anxiety level and everything else is quite high.
Yes.
Your goal as an athlete is you trust your coach to have the plan out.
Mm-hmm.
Your goal as an athlete is to be as relaxed as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And not stressing out, because this is the one thing you can do. Because this is one thing I always say, look, peak week, I take my mind out of the whole process.
Right.
I leave it off them, and I just try to focus on things that make me relax. So I always find that as long as it doesn't tax me physically, I want to do something that will completely shift my focus. So I don't have to feel like, because it's almost like you start thinking about the show, oh my God, what I gotta do? And then it rises your anxiety level the more you think about it.
Yeah.
So the more you can sort of relax about it and not stress that much, the better off you perform.
Sure.
You've seen I watched the UFC, right? You've seen these embedded series, which is like their peak week, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them will travel with their Xboxes to the hotel rooms, and they'll just go and plug that shit in, and they're just fucking,
and just take your mind out of it.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, Ben, you probably know this, and Samson, of course you do. Ben, you know this probably from working with all these clients that you work with, is the more calm the athlete, the better they're going to look. And I don't know if I don't know if that's physiologically because of cortisol or whatever, but
of course, yeah.
Look,
I made a huge mistake and an error backstage at Texas, which I missed, which was
with Hunter. You mean?
Yeah. So Tampa, we were like relaxed and laughing and chill, and because not to discredit anyone, we weren't going up against fucking Andrew, right?
It was more calm.
So we were chilling backstage, and we're like, we'll pump up in a bit and whatever else, right? And we've had Hunter and I've had this conversation. He's like, man, when I was like lining up to go back to walk up, he was like, it was like Super Bowl for me. I was like fucking G'd up, ready to go. I'm like, no. That's when you're in the gym, cool. Yeah, get hyped up, get pumped up. When you're about to go out on stage, and we've had some conversation. We're going to do some things backstage and just really just take his mind elsewhere and bring him down, because he walked out there, heart rate fucking rammed, adrenaline pumping, cortisol pumping. Of course, he's going to start fucking sweating out. There's all these little things. And I look back at it now and I'm like, that's so obvious. And because I'm my head, but I was also G'd up, right? I'm like, let's fucking take
let's go.
He looks great. Let's go take this motherfucker out. Like, I was ready to go too.
Yeah.
That's absolutely spot on, because this is what happened. People don't understand. Like, when you backstage and you pump up and you're ready to go, your heart rate is like up here. And then you're trying to keep it all together and not break a sweat. It's almost like, who are you kidding? And then you have to somehow calm yourself down and relax enough to bring your heart rate lower than what it is in front of all these thousands of people and music and everybody getting ready. And you have to sort of remain calm in that and walk out calmly.
You spent 4, 5, 6 months hyper focused on
this one thing.
But I think
that's what I'm saying. Like the vets will separate themselves, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think this separates the guys, and I'll use myself as an example, just because I don't want to speak poorly about anybody. The guys who can measure their anxiety are the guys who will succeed. And one of the things I could never do is measure my anxiety. The bigger shows always got a hold of me, and it fucked me up every time. Arnold, Olympia, whatever. I couldn't. And Cedric, this was one of the things with Cedric. People would say, Cedric can't get in shape. Me and Cedric sympathized with each other on this point, because his anxiety would get the best of him. And even with his anxiety getting the best of him, because he looked so phenomenal, he still won shows. But imagine a Cedric with a Phil Heath mindset where he can
calm
measure
it, right?
That 2019 Olympia, I can't remember what it was now, but I was back there with Luke, and I think he said, can you find Cedric? And I'm like, so I looked at Denise, and I'm like, where's Cedric? She's like, he's way out the back there on his own in a corner. And I walked around there, and he's like in this ball, and I'm like, oh, fuck, man, are you okay? And he's like, he couldn't even talk to me. He couldn't even acknowledge. He just looked up at me and was like, just nodded and just like pushed me away because he was just dealing with all of this angst.
Yeah, but the crazy thing about that is that wasn't even just him at the Olympia. That was him at all the shows. I remember doing smaller shows with him, and he would still be off on his own. And some guys took offense to it. They're like, "Oh, how come Cedric's not hanging out with us?" I'm like, he just is dealing with the moment. Like, it's not everybody doesn't deal with this the same, you know. And I think the guys that excel, you know, when you think of like a Kevin Levrone or a Sean Ray or like a Flex Wheeler or these guys that are perennial top 5 guys, or like if you move forward, you think of the Dennis Wolf or Branch Warren, like, you know, every generation has their perennial top 5s. When you think of those guys, my belief is that those guys are the guys that have accepted and understand the moment.
Yeah.
And they can go through that moment without this peak of like their emotion. They just kind of ride through it. And I really think it's a real gift that some people have that, and it can still breeze through these shows with a security in themselves. So
that's what I'm gonna talk as if Samson's not here for a second. That's what's interesting to me, because I mean, I saw backstage
last year,
and if you look like you did there in the mind,
oh my god,
if this year is remotely a little more confident and relaxed, then it's going to be much better.
Man, I mean, I remember that so much, because the thing is, you sit there and people are like, oh, come on, man, you've done this, now you have experience, you look great, why are you feeling that way?
No.
You remember, you've literally done months, prepared months for this very minute, and that very minute you're about to walk out there, you're standing there backstage, you got all your competitors around you looking like absolute dynamite, they just right there, and then you're standing there by yourself, and you're trying to keep out of your own head and say, look, I'm prepared, I've done my job, let's go do it. And it's like, all that is right here. And if you flinch and you open your mind to doubt at that moment, and you might not even know you're doing it, but all it takes is just a little, oh, he looks good. Oh, he looks dry. And automatically your mind is gone. And it's almost damn near impossible to, it's almost damn near impossible to reel yourself back in. And I was backstage at Olympia, and I was watching, because we had the screen, you were watching every guy go on, and I was watching the screen because, oh, this is nice, let me see what it looks like. And automatically it was like, here we go.
Well, one of the things, but give yourself some credit, Sam, or some slack, Samson. I think, you know, you've been working with us for 3 years. We've known each other for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
And you went from a place of, man, I just want to qualify for the Olympia. You know, that was like your whole goal. Was like, I just want to qualify. I don't care if I'm last place. I just want to qualify.
Just want to get there.
Then you qualified, and at your first Olympia, you have nerves. I mean, so
man, of course,
cut yourself a little bit of slack. That was your first. That was your first Olympia.
Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, you know, Ben and the guys, they came up to me, and they really helped, because they at that moment they pulled me out of a hole that I was slipping in.
Right.
And you know, normally, you know, most shows you probably have your coach or somebody out there that sort of reels you in, but in those big shows you don't. You're on by yourself on the stage.
Right.
And when you start going down that hole, for someone there to recognize that and come up to you and say, "Yo, get out of your own head. You look good. Go do your job," and snap you out of it. Yeah. It's priceless.
Yeah, of course.
And they managed to do that. They managed to do that to me right at that moment at Olympia, where I was just about to like, crumble inside. And they came up, and you know, Ben came up to me and was like, "Look, just come on, get out." And you know, and that moment switched everything up for me. He really kind of like, "Oh shit, okay, yeah, actually, I'm prepared for this. I'm ready for this. Let's go." You know.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it this time is you've been there, so you're not feeling this for the first time.
Oh no.
So I think you'll be able.
I think different just when we went to the Arnold. It was already different when we went to Arnold, because I'm like, okay, we've done this. You know what it's like.
Not that I don't want to make anybody. I don't want to make anybody think that it's like a breeze. But
no,
but for example, like, because you've been there before, if you did start to like go the wrong way, I think you'd be able to bring yourself.
You notice it. Oh shit, come on, get back in the game.
Yeah,
you know. And I think that's one thing where Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
I think it's different for you as well, because you had that feeling and then you went out there and you succeeded, relatively speaking, right? You exceeded your expectations. If you'd have gone out there and flunked, and then this year it's like a reset, and you'd still probably be nervous, like a little more anxious. But
I think there's something to be said for understanding that you belong there. Because all these bodybuilders, everybody from top to bottom, I don't care who you are, the first time you do something, there's a huge uncertainty.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Nick Walker. I don't care if you're Derek. I don't care if you're Hottie. There's an uncertainty the first time you do it.
Yeah.
But so you almost have to prove to yourself that you belong in this place. And then now that you've done that, Samson, you're like, okay, I know where I belong. Now I can work from there.
Yeah.
So,
and this is exactly, honestly, if you were going to sum up what happened in the Olympia and the Arnold, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Is Olympia, we're going into our first big time show against everybody. And you almost feel like, okay, I know I'm good, but where do I actually fit in this crowd of all the best? Where do I, am I 10th? Am I 15th? Am I here? You don't know. So you're there and you're almost trying to find your place and trying to find if you're meant to be there and everything else that so it fits in. So when we kind of went in and we obviously did the mantra and everything, and then they did the call out and you're in the first call out, at first you're like, what? Are you kidding me?
I think they made a mistake.
I think they make a mistake. I think, okay, this is
they called the wrong number.
And then this is what happened. So I came back out and then they called me out for the second call out and I'm like, okay. I'm still happy.
I got it.
And then they left me back and they put me back in the first call out again.
Yeah,
and at that point, there was one point that the light finally clicked and it was like, if there was any question to yourself that you think, where do I belong?
Yeah.
That's your answer right there. You couldn't get a more clear, straight up answer. And after that moment, everything changed.
Right.
After that moment, everything changed.
All right, Samson, let me ask you another fan question. Who do you think will break into the top 10 that wasn't in the top 10 last year? You know, would it be someone like Tonio? Would it be someone like Crizzo? Would it be someone like Regan?
Oh, Crizzo is definitely in top 10 now. I mean, definitely. I think.
So you think Crizzo is going to go from 12 into the top 10?
Okay. Yeah, I thought, because he didn't make top 10. He was 11 last year.
No, I think he was 11 or 12 last year. Yeah.
Really? Oh no, you'll definitely be in top 10 this year. Antonio, another one that I won't be surprised if I see him make.
Tonio looks really good
because he's looking really good, and he just has that kind of look where it's impressive. It's impressive.
I love
Tonio. If he had a bigger frame, he'd be deadly.
But even if he doesn't, you know, I think the rounder he gets, and a little bit bigger muscle, I think he's gonna be like. He reminds me of Dexter. He reminds me of Dexter a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, you talk about Brandon being this generation's Dexter, and I get what he means.
Well, that was more of an age.
I know. Like I know he means the longevity side of things, but if you're going to talk about actual physiques, and like almost like a giant killer type physique, I mean, within the open, Tonio is that. Tonio is, and when he's peaked, was it the Legion?
It was Legion last year.
Last year when he walked out and he was,
oh my god,
he blew the doors off of that peak. Like,
guys, he's better now. He's better now. The most,
no. I know muscular. Yeah. I'm talking about when someone nails a peak, right, and they walk out, and it's like the balance of condition, fullness, and everything. I know he now has more muscularity now, so if he can match up that kind of peak with, he is.
No, it's not the muscularity I was talking about. It's
conditioning.
I've never seen him in this condition that he's in these last set of photos. These ones, the hardness, like here you can see it in the side of the glute, like you see it all coming together. His glutes have never been this hard, and this is all really dry, and this is still like fucking a week and a half out. You know, all this detail in here. Look at the striations in his fucking abs here. Like he's in really, really good condition. I'm excited to see what he looks like at the O. But I think he could be top 10. So
I think so.
Who else do you think? Regan coaches.
Oh yeah, Regan.
Milos coaches Regan.
Yeah.
Do you think your teammate will crack the top 10?
I think he'll crack top 10.
Are you saying that because he's your teammate, or are you saying that because?
No, I'm saying it because it's Regan, man. Regan has a lot of tools. Let's be real, man. He has a lot of tools going for him. He has a size now. He has a shape.
Yeah.
You know, he has a conditioning to a point. But if he gets in any tighter than he was last show, is there any reason why he can't be in top 10?
Well, that's what I think we all kind of agree on that. We think, you know, everybody knows Regan has a very complete physique.
Yeah.
But he's just missing that extra level.
That extra level of it. Yeah. And I mean, if he gets it in, I don't see any reason why, you know, he ain't easily going to be in that top 10.
I think if he can achieve the level of conditioning that people are waiting for, he can be in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about do you see any other newcomers into the top 10? Maybe Charles Griffin. Do you think anybody else could surprise people and jump into that top 10?
I mean, Charles Griffin, we know with him, he's so freaking deadly as conditioner, man.
And
This guy is so hard.
Yeah.
He's unreal, you know. And the thing is, unfortunately for him, it's just that for him to sort of knock bigger guys with shape and everything out, they have to not be 100%. And it's always possible when it comes to shows. So this is a thing where if he cracks top 10, it will be because somebody slips up. And no knock on him. It's just he's so complete and so hard. He's almost like when you look at a guy that you think he's got the best out he could possibly get from his physique. He's genetic.
Well, I mean, look, I think everybody has their strengths. And I think Charles is extremely muscular, extremely dense, and extremely conditioned.
Yeah.
He probably lacks a little bit in the shape department. So I think that's kind of what you're talking about. But like you just said, people come in off all the time at the Olympia.
There we go.
Not everybody nails it. So go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing, right? You've got, if you're going to say the top 10, top 12 guys, they're going to have, as long as they can bring good enough condition, their shape, structure, size, push them into the top 12. And it doesn't matter how someone like, say, Andre Presti or Roman Fritz is probably going to be one of the most conditioned guys on that stage period. But it's not just the conditioning. Like you have to have the whole head to toe balance structure. Like you have to tick every box. So that's where it gets difficult for these guys that are phenomenal bodybuilders, but you can only work with what you have. So, and that's where it gets difficult to break into that top 10, because you can have Samson come in off, and no offense to someone like Roman, right? Because I say this about Roman, because Roman's not going to get upset about that. Roman's not going to stand toe to toe with Samson, even if Samson's off.
Yeah, like we said, everybody has their strengths, and the less flaws you have, the more chance of you placing higher. So it's like, sure, if Samson's, sorry to keep using you, Samson, but let's say if Samson's not in shape, the symmetry and aesthetics of his physique plus the muscularity is going to carry him anyways. Whereas not everybody can say that. Some people have to dial in everything just to be at the show, period, just to make it to the Olympia. So, I mean, it's the same thing. You could use anybody with this scenario. It's like Nick Walker. If Nick Walker is a little bit off, he's still going to be in the top 6.
But again, you talk about that. I think that's where Nick shines, because he maximizes absolutely everything that he can.
He has.
Right. But this is what we talk about when we talk about criteria. It's like, if you're talking about criteria for bodybuilding, Nick is a 10 out of 10 in muscularity, a 10 out of 10 in conditioning, and maybe a 9 out of 10 in shape. And then you have Samson, who's 10 out of 10 shape, 10 out of 10 muscularity, maybe 9 out of 10 conditioning. So it's like everybody has like a balance, like a ratio that they have to carry to the stage, right? So
unless you're running, and then you just do 10s.
Unless you're Ronnie Coleman, Okay. Do you guys want to do a few questions before we get out of here? Or Samson, do you want to go? Do you have to go?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
Those 3 eggs can wait.
So these questions were submitted on the HOSSTILE app. Anybody who wants to get their questions answered, I'm going to start going through more of these. These are from like a while back, but I'm going to start going through all these Q&As and getting them done. So anybody who wants to submit a question, submit it on the HOSSTILE app. You can download it on iOS or Android. We're also going to have some workouts on there and stuff that we're going to start putting up. So download the app for more stuff. And one more plug, you get access to all of the launches a day before everybody else, so you don't in case we sell out. Sorry, I just have to do this one thing really quickly. Milos would like to join us. I want to grill him about your prep. Tell him he better not fuck up.
I've given him a hard time this prep.
Have you?
Oh man, yeah.
1 sec. I just gotta see here. He can't see the link for some reasons. Okay. First question. With Samson winning the Arnold, get him a signature series line, or does he have to win the O? Well, that's an old question.
That's old question.
He's already got a signature line. What are your thoughts on hooking up dating with coworkers? I have a huge crush on a girl I work with and unsure what to do. What do you guys think?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because if she says no, you're gonna have to stick around and work with her anyway. No, you've been rejected.
Yeah, it depends. It depends what your job is. If you work in a Chicken Express, carry on. If it's a career job,
yeah. Well, Paul always said, "I don't shit where I eat." So that was one thing. But also, even if he does hook up with her and then they break up, then it's even worse.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Love watching you, Mike, Ian, and Paul, Canadian Bro Chat. Okay, next. Wait, I think we have a gentleman here. If you had to watch a soccer match between a team of midgets and a team of morbidly obese people, who would you bet to win?
Midgets.
You think the midgets would beat the fat people?
Yes. Oh yeah.
No way.
What?
Yeah, man, those little bugs are quick. They're
just running,
scamper around.
The fat people will be able to kick way harder.
Yeah,
the midgets
gonna get the ball first. How
they won't get to the ball? Yeah,
they get the ball first.
Fucked after like 2 minutes. They're all going to be on the floor.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about this, but listen, the midgets, the furthest they're going to kick is like 5 yards.
Who says who?
The fat people are going to kick like half the field. They're going to have way more power.
Yeah, once,
and then once, and they're out of energy.
One time. One kick.
I'm taking that.
You said more. Wait, you said morbidly obese too. That's like fucking heavy.
It does say morbidly obese.
Oh, dear.
Hey guys, I'm here. Do you see me?
No, I can't see you.
Why?
I don't know. Your camera's off. Click on the camera icon.
All right.
There you go. Oh, look at that haircut. It fucking look phenomenal. Milos, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If a team of midgets played soccer, would they beat a team of fat people, or would the fat people win?
Morbidly fat.
Well,
think about how hard the fat people could kick.
Yeah, but
it's not a fight.
It's football.
They're going to kick the ball further.
Midgets, they can run, right? And fat people.
Yeah, but think about how slow they run. Yeah, but think about how slow they're going to run. The little steps.
Right. It's a 90-minute match.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You can't wait. You're not morbidly obese.
The midgets aren't going to be able to run.
You can't play. You
can run 90 minutes.
You can't play soccer for 90 minutes.
The midgets aren't going to play for 90 minutes either. Think about how much they're going to have to run to get to the end of the field. Is like 1,000,000 steps for them.
Hey, you discriminate. This is supposed to be like a week before Olympia. You talk about midgets and fat.
Yeah, people. We're trying to get Samson's mind off of things, and you just.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want us to do? Freak him out before the show? We're trying to like give him.
No, I'm glad.
Okay.
No, well, you missed half the podcast. We talked about.
What did you guys talk?
We talked about all of Samson's Olympia prep. He said you messed up everything, but he's fixed it. And
yeah, you gotta give him a little room to mess up.
No. He said we talked about his prep, and he said that everything looks great, and he's given you. He said he's given you hell a lot this prep. Has he been hard to
listen? You know, when you have a smooth sailing, it's beautiful. I mean, the only thing after I've seen him last night, I went to sleep. Right? It's like, okay, should I give him a little bit last meal extra carbs? Because think about this, Samson. Normally on Saturday, on the Friday last meal, we don't take it. Then we take 2 meals before chest workout, right? But then Sunday, this time you're not going to have your carb meals. So I'm thinking to give you one tonight to
balance it out.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going back and forth. Should I? Shouldn't I? Then I emailed you that picture.
Milos
look good. Yeah,
Milos, how does Samson look compared to the Arnolds? He won't send me any photos.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What the fuck? I'm like.
I'm itching all the time. Like, should I? Like, he told me no. I failed a couple of times here and there. I had to show it to a few people.
How do you think? Listen, okay, you don't have to send me anything. How do you think he looks compared to? You know what? Don't even answer that.
It's better. It's leaner, and the test we did last weekend shows that he's bigger. You know when you are basically depleted for quite some time, you don't really. Yeah. Let yourself fill up.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we actually did besides your regular pizza that you always talk about it. Yeah. It's a mandatory. It's just touch the carbs, poof.
You know,
Hey,
you know what? You know what's funny? I did the same thing. I did the same thing. Like Hunter, like deplete, and I was like, okay, let's do like yesterday was a leg day. Let's put a little bit in and just see. And super responsive. And I was like, whoa, okay. And so I actually called him and said, okay, enough, stop, go back to normal diet. We got enough, like done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this so? Okay, you guys prepare for the show. You prepare other people, and Samson did this so many times. I mean, I guess it's dynamic. Before we would need more carbs for Samson to fill up, and it's contradictory because he was smaller, right? So you would think when he's bigger, he's going to need more, but then he touches the carbs and poof, like okay, so now you have to back off. So in general, you already know we're not going to go for a super full look. We're going to go for a just enough because he's the biggest guy there anyway.
Yeah,
and he has that round, muscly, bubbly muscles. You know, so it would be.
Milos, let me ask you a specific question. I know he's depleted, but even Samson depleted, has he looked flat ever, or is he still round as possible?
He's round as possible. Look,
he's still round even when he's flat.
That's what I get. That's what I get. Like last night, because listen, I put all on my big screen right here, and then I compare like the Monday and then a Wednesday and now Friday. So I always compare. I say, okay, I see a little bit. Yeah. I mean, he's flat today, and
no, but even Samson,
you're not going to see nobody.
He's not flat. Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
I like to see that full fucking, exploding
chest and shoulder,
and then legs just Ronnie Coleman-esque,
Milos, let me get this while you're here. I need to fill this out. Can you give me your top 10?
Oh, okay. Samson winning.
Yeah.
Hadi being second.
Yeah.
I do believe that Brandon Curry is going to surprise people.
That's
good. Plays third. Fourth, I would put Nick Walker.
Oh, Nick ahead of Derek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fifth would be Derek. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about this also.
It's okay.
Derek,
go ahead.
Sixth would be Andrew, and seventh Hunter. I still think that Andrew's gonna overtake him, especially talking to Jay Cutler that talks to Chris Acedo, and he said, no, Chris believes he's as good to win. So like he's bringing his best. I know that Hunter is bringing his best.
Who's eight? Who's eight? Who's eight?
Okay, eight would be probably Krizo. I don't know if Regan could overtake him. I would hope that Regan can overtake him.
Okay,
but
who's nine?
Regan.
Regan.
Yeah.
Who's 10?
Hold on a second. I didn't go that far. Oh, Tonio Burton.
Hey, there you go. That's what I was hoping you'd say that. Not hoping, but we were just talking about Tonio. Okay, that's your top 10. I got it now. We're gonna see if you win it back. The loser's got to shave their head.
Yeah, shit. And you know that this all can change. I mean,
well, we know that, but you don't. But you don't get to change anymore. That's your picks. You've locked them in.
Yeah, that's you put me on. Yeah, and this is, look, I judge the way I really see it as a bodybuilding, not what I think judges are gonna really do.
Yeah, that's okay. I was gonna ask that. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's two different things.
So you're judging what you like or what you think the placing should be, not what you think the judges will pick.
Yes, yeah.
That's what Abdullah did. That when Abdullah came on, Abdullah had Brandon or Samson winning, and then Brandon or Samson second. So he was 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
And then he had Andrew third, and then everybody else. I think he had Hadi, then Nick.
How great would that be? How great would be the top 3, Samson, Brandon, and Andrew? I would fucking
scream. I don't know.
I would run around Orlando.
But why though? Aren't you putting too much emphasis on shape?
I want to put the emphasis on shape.
Me and Ian had this conversation a week or two ago on the podcast. I said, do you think, like fitness, when you talk about judging for fitness, they judge 2/3 the routine round, 1/3 the physique round, right? So I said,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be cool? Because everybody who watches bodybuilding, not everybody, majority of people who watch bodybuilding like shape. You know, they like size and shape. So I said, wouldn't it be cool if criteria for bodybuilding was judged a little bit heavier on the shape than on the muscularity and conditioning? Ian doesn't think so. Ian thinks open bodybuilding should be even across the board. Shape, condition, mass, everything should be even.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not muscle building contest. It's not conditioning contest. It's body building, building the body, not muscle building. Build any kind of muscle, put it anywhere, and you know, just dry it, and then that's it. Shape should carry us. You know.
So you think? So you think if it was? So you think if it was shape? Sorry, if you think if it was symmetry, condition, muscularity, the third 3-3-3, the third. You think it should be shape should be half, and the other two should be 25% each.
No, okay. I'm gonna go with the 30-30-30. You know, I agree.
Yeah.
For that one, it's kind of hard to put the percentages, but you know, you want to look at something beautiful. That's like, I want to look like that.
But not really, Milos. You're already saying that you think it should be a little bit heavier on the shape.
I do. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. If I'm gonna put the percentages, yeah, put 40-30-30.
Okay, but do you think? Okay, let's assume it was 40-30-30. Let's assume you had it your way.
Yeah.
Do you think even at 40-30-30, do you think Andrew beats someone like Hottie, Derek, or Nick? Because Andrew, as beautiful as his shape is,
yeah,
still has not filled out his frame the same way like Samson has, for example. So is he have enough muscularity to beat somebody like Hottie, Derek, or Nick?
Okay, so I'll put you on the spot like you put me. Derek. Okay, Derek standing next to Andrew.
Yes.
Take that back away. And now compare them.
Okay.
No, please.
Okay, that's fine. Let's take Andrew's chest away.
Okay.
You can't take away a body part.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, what are we talking about? Does he has enough muscularity? He has enough muscularity in most of the body parts that
the way I mean muscularity is this. When and I'm sure you know this already, but to explain to people watching, when I say muscularity, I mean how many gaps are there when someone's posing? Like when someone does a front lat spread, are there gaps and openings, or is it so much muscularity that it's all pieced together properly and there's no openings, no gaps, like when Samson does a front lat spread, there's no gaps. The legs are this big, the arms are, and the lats and the waist is there. Like there's very little, everything's filled out.
Okay. So do the lat spread of Andrew Jack from the front.
It's a winning pose. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying.
But that's what I think. Okay. So when you analyze pose by pose, structure, width, you know, all this kind of, could he 200, I don't know, 80 pounds, you know, stand next to 235 pounds?
But I think it's the weight is irrelevant because I think it's the way the muscle sits on the body. And Andrew is a very tall guy, and I don't think he's filled out the frame he has. It's almost like Regan. It's like Regan. Regan's a very large structure.
Yes, yeah.
And I feel like
I know what you're saying. Yes, but you know, when you think about Regan is 265,
right?
You know, he's gonna be like 260 on the stage, stuff like that, right?
Right.
I mean, put that in perspective. Lee Haney back in the day was 245. It's about the same height.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant to our comparison.
Yeah, but again, like how far do we go? I'm delighted to have a 300-pounder that is beautiful, shapely, aesthetic, thick, wide, complete, balanced.
Right.
Yeah, but okay. So when you are asking percentages, symmetry, muscularity, and presentation, I'm talking about those filters. Let's say this is one filter of balance. Let's look at the balance: upper body, lower body, front to back. Okay, thickness, width, structure. Okay. Now symmetry. Symmetry is not just V taper. Symmetry is shape. You know, somebody can be symmetric, but shapely. I've seen
symmetry and aesthetics are together.
Because you know, it's one thing that is symmetrical but not shapely, and the other thing is like, whoa.
Okay, listen.
I think a good comparison. I think a good comparison the other time we saw it was to take Andrew versus Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Hunter's more complete, right? Agreed.
Yeah.
Andrew's more aesthetic,
Hunter.
more shape, has better shape. Would you agree?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you get like these two kind of like looks. I think that's
but I'm not. Okay, we could say that too, but I'm still. What I'm trying to do is draw a more extreme comparison. So
Yeah.
when you said 40, 30, 30, I said, even if you were a judge and it was 40, 30, 30, do you think Andrew beats Derek?
If I'm a judge, yeah, he would.
Really?
Because
Derek's got good shape.
Dominant in a leg department. The only place he's dominant is lats.
Yeah, but Andrew's not dominant from the back. Like the problem with Andrew is not even necessarily structure. The biggest problem is from the front, he's a 10 out of 10. From the back, he's an 8 out of 10.
And from the side, he's a 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
I see you. I mean, and look, I would be biased coaching, and people say you're not credible because you're trying to put those guys down. I don't try to put anybody. I'm just analyst, and so my question to you would be: take Derek's back away, and now to analyze shoulders, arms, chest, legs. Is this something that would win Olympia?
But you can't do that, Milos. Only because I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
When they come out, they do a front relaxed. The lats from the front frame the body.
Yeah.
So that's making that look incredible. Secondly, then you go front double. The front double of Derek, when he pulls the waist in and his lats go like this.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
So you can't say without, and then the front lat spread, same thing. You have this super wide, all filled in and a tiny waist. You can't take that away from him and say, well, what if he didn't have a back? Because even the back and the front poses,
I know it's like
is helping him win.
Jay Cutler pointed out to me when I was talking about this, I said, who else was like that? Dorian Yates.
Right.
Dorian Yates had a spectacular back.
Right.
And when you think about chest and shoulders and arms, it's not comparable to the guys.
No.
But in each pose, he was super competitive.
Right.
And goddamn, was winning. So I do think that Derek going into the show is obviously major favorite with Hadi and him, first and second, they're major favorites. But last year we didn't bring enough conditioning for Samson to be considered. Now all these things equal. Now they could.
Let me ask you this question because of the way you placed everything. So you placed, you put Hadi in second and you put Derek in fifth. Now let me ask you a question. Since you're the shape guy, do you not think Derek has better shape than Hadi? Especially now that Hadi looks like he maybe put on another inch on his waist, maybe.
Yes, but the balance, balance and then conditioning and that muscularity density that Hadi present is going to be a problem for all of us.
Okay, wait, stop. So this is perfect. So basically what you're saying is you like shape more than everything, except for if the muscularity or the conditioning is better.
So look, shape is king in the rules, but he had to be conditioned shape. In an interview right after the Olympia 2022, I asked those guys, how does Nick Walker's physique beat Samson's physique? And there was no any way that he could have. Then it was okay, a little bit on that conditioning, and he prevails. I purposely structured it that way because that's the honest to God truth. Samson beat him in every other department. And that conditioning, he was.
Well, I wouldn't say. Listen, let's be honest. I wouldn't say beat him. Muscularity, they got to be even. Nick is just as muscular as anybody else on the stage, right?
Yeah.
So you can't say he beat him in every other department. It was like this. One has better shape. No, this is how it is. Listen, just hear me out. One has better shape. Yeah. One has better condition. They split the muscularity down the middle.
Yeah, but
right? the beauty of that is that Samson can get condition, eat more easily than Nick can get shape.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
that's correct. But hold on. Let's not focus on muscularity. You have to be shapely muscularity. You have to be conditioned muscularity.
Right.
It's not, you know. So this is those filters when you apply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You know, balance. Who is most balanced? I mean, beautiful. You know, that's Samson. Balance. He has a thickness. He has a
No,
fullness.
no, no, that's not true.
What he doesn't have.
Don't confuse balance with aesthetics. Balance.
I'm not. No. That's not. Balance is upper.
So you're saying
down, front, back.
so Samson
balance.
probably is a little more balanced, probably because Nick's legs probably don't match up to his upper body
Probably.
quite as well.
Hold on a second. Probably quite as well. Speak English. Come on. You know, come on. Really. Speak English.
Listen, Nick's legs are tough only because from the side and from the back, they balance with the upper body perfectly. From the front, they maybe don't balance as well because the sweep doesn't sweep as well.
There's the 4 front poses. 4 out of 8.
Right.
Okay. Plus
So the other 4 his legs balance.
Yeah, listen, I said this openly because they say Nick hater. No, Nick has a chance to win. Hey, I told Jay Cutler.
Don't be a hater, Milos.
Hold on a second. Look. When Jay Cutler was competing with Chris Cormier, I was preparing him for Arnold Classic, and Chris was going there. I said, like, okay, Chris has a beautiful shape, beautiful physique, you know, and there's no way, you know, Jay can beat him, right? But Jay overpowered him and won. Same thing, like I like Kevin, I like Flex Wheeler, I like Sean, but they go stand next to Dorian Yates, and fucking Dorian beat him. You know, I'm looking pose for pose, like, oh shit. So there's many things that you can throw in, but we as an analyst, you just am I gonna point out and I'm gonna talk the truth, or
no, that's not
everybody's great.
That's not the point. That's not the point I was trying to get to, Milos. The point I'm trying to get to is this. I'm not necessarily in disagreement with you. I feel like shape should have a notch up on everything else. But what I'm saying is, even if it had a notch above muscularity condition, I still don't know if you would put Andrew ahead of Derek, because the other categories are so much higher. Like his condition and his muscularity is much greater than Andrew's. Yeah. So shape is not enough.
My top 10. Read my top 10 and see where I placed them. I didn't put.
You have Nick ahead of Derek, right?
Yeah. Even Nick. I do think I've seen Nick yesterday.
That's very contradictory, Milos.
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, you have to spice it up and balance it out. I do think I'm not sure it's 40% shape. It's not 100% shape. So I think
this is the thing with
Nick. I'm going to tell you this about Nick. Standing relaxed, right? As much as I would say, like, oh yeah, that's not the shape I want, but I watched him at Arnold Classic, which he won, and I watched him at a couple of other shows. He squeezes his abs. He has that muscularity you're talking about. It's not the most beautiful shape, but it's impressive. Still,
it's
so
very impressive. Yeah,
it's very impressive. Okay,
yeah.
So you have to consider this. His poses, side chest is a very good pose. Back double biceps, very good pose. Most muscular shot, good. Triceps, competitive. So fan favorite. They think that he should have beat Samson, which I disagree. I said this from the Olympia that Samson should have beat him even with a little bit lesser conditioning. But he's a contender. Can he overpower Derek when they go one-on-one comparison? Okay, assume they're gonna do many comparisons. They're gonna bring two guys.
Let's say they do Derek and Nick, and I want to use your preference.
Front double biceps, Derek because of the shape.
Okay.
Front lat spread again, Derek because of the extreme V taper. But Derek had weaker legs and no density here. That if you just look at the silhouette, V taper is crazy. but then you turn the lights and then you look at here. Like Brandon Curry would dominate Derek in the front lat spread because of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though Derek maybe have even more pronounced V-taper.
Yeah.
And Nick is heavily muscled there, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
Nick has a little bit.
Anyway, listen, they're both riding the horse from the front, you know, so the legs are going to be, you know, squashed.
No, they're not. Nick doesn't ride the horse, but Nick does have a little bit of trouble with the front lat spread. So I wonder if he's corrected that for this show.
I have to put
that. Why are you bringing? I didn't even bring up Nick. Why are you bringing up Nick? I'm trying to figure out your judging system here, and you're not making any sense.
We were comparing Nick and Derek. That's why
listen. You gotta. This is why your judging doesn't make sense. Let's take a look at this.
What?
Look at this. Look at this top 10. 1 second. Look at this top 10. Okay, let me blow it up for you. You have extreme shape.
Yeah.
And then extreme muscularity. Then extreme shape. Then extreme muscularity. Then extreme shape.
Hey, as a matter of fact, I'm going to post that video that I discussed with Jim Mannion, but Jim told me don't post it now. I'm going to post it after. When we discuss exactly this, how did they judge back in like 96? Big Dorian, small Sean, big Nasser, and this kind of things. And that was very, very interesting. But I'm not going to post it now. I'm going to post it later. You were asking me, how does Nick beat Derek? And then we started analyzing.
I said, how does Derek beat Andrew or Andrew beat Derek? You brought Nick up. I didn't bring Nick up.
Hey,
we were using.
Samson.
Milos.
Did I talk about?
Hey, you want to check? You want to check if Samson's okay to sit in on this because he looks like he's about to pass out.
Samson, you want to go? Do you want to take off, or are you good?
Yeah,
I'm about to take off in a minute.
Take off, yeah. Okay, sorry.
All right, Samson, are you okay? You getting worn out? I know.
No, my sister just showed up. My sister, I'm seeing her for the first last time before I travel this weekend.
Please go.
Go do your thing, and I'll sit here and argue with Milos for another hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Well, I'll catch you guys. I'll see you next week. I'll see you
on Wednesday. Milos, check it out. Milos, check it out.
Oh man, this looks sick. Wow.
Look at this.
Damn. I gotta grab a picture of that.
I love it.
Next week.
Okay.
Coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Don't bring me like this, the medium shirt. Bring me double X.
I'll bring you a small so you can flex in it.
Oh dude.
Okay, Samson. Have a good day, brother.
Okay, you too.
Thank you for coming on.
Say hi to sister.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
And her mother.
Will do.
All right. Ben, are you worn out too, or are you okay?
I'm dead serious. Ben.
To argue.
Okay.
Ben, but do you remember that Fouad and I started Derek and Nick? Not
no, we started. I asked you. I said.
Actually, you know what? I've got to take blame for this because I said, "How do you have Derek behind Nick?" Then.
Yeah, it's your fault because I said.
Yeah.
You liked Andrew. You said it would be beautiful if Andrew was Samson, Brandon, Andrew. And I said, if we use your judging criteria of 40% shape, does Andrew beat Derek? And I don't think so because Derek's shape is still good.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very good. Listen, very good. But you mix everything together. But seriously, I was going pose by pose. And there was it was Nick and Derek that I was focusing on, and then he told me, why did I bring Nick? Because now when they go to the side chest of Nick is going to beat side chest of Derek.
Yes.
Back double biceps is crazy, freaky back double biceps that Nick has, and it's really impressive. Derek flows fucking beautiful. That's it's probably one of the very best of all time back double biceps.
I agree with that.
You know, so even though the shoulders, arms part of that back double biceps, that's a double biceps. Double biceps is not so impressive, but everything else is. Lat spread, for sure, Derek beats Nick because it's so crazy from the back.
Yeah. So
crazy V-tapered. Side triceps, Nick's beat him.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. That's a tough one. That's not Nick's strongest pose.
It's so strong, I suppose, but there's so much thickness, so much
really
muscularity.
good.
What's that, Ben?
Nick's side triceps really good.
Is it?
He's so he's very. I mean, his side leg is tremendous, and now he's got that. Like his midsection, his side trip would would trick you because you go, oh, he's got a wide midsection, but in the side shots, his midsection is itty bitty.
No. In side chest is probably one of the best on stage.
Yeah.
But I didn't think side tricep is good. Yeah,
No,
right.
his side tricep's great.
Let me see. Look at this.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a good
I mean,
shot.
go the recent one. Go on his Instagram. He put a recent one up, and it's deadly. It's fucking really good.
These are all,
Yeah,
why are those?
you got to give it to him.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not taking it away from him. I don't think when I think of side tricep, I don't think of Nick because I'm always thinking side chest.
Go to his Instagram because he posts recent ones. These are all old.
This is last year's Olympia.
Yeah, but he's done one like within the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
you can actually see what it looks like.
Yeah,
really fucking.
No, you got to give it to him. He's going to be hell in the side triceps. He's going to be hell in the most muscular. You know that.
Yeah.
And then abs and thighs. I mean, I've seen Nick with the super deep abs and flat stomach. I've seen him, and then we saw him lose it. And if he loses, then of course it's going to lose. But look, going into the Olympia, Derek is major favorite to win with Hadi, because he's going to come improved. He had some first place awards from the judges. We all talk about shape is great, but define why. Shape is great because of that crazy back and everything else. Yeah, okay. Is he going to bring the legs? If he brings the legs, and I've seen his legs look spectacular, right? But then I see him lose by this stage. Yeah. And this is like Brandon Curry.
This time.
That's what we discussed earlier. I said if he's got the quads this year to match his upper body,
I don't think it's going to happen this year. I know what it's like working with Hani. I know why Hani didn't have him do the Arnold, and I know it's because he was focused on those legs. I guarantee you, Derek's legs will be better. The only problem is if Derek's upper body also got better, then you still have an imbalance. So it's like, is it going to be bigger and better and balanced, or is it going to be bigger and better but still not as good as the upper body?
Well, his back looks better than last year even.
I know that. So I'm saying, so the legs have to come up quite a bit.
We have to say back is the craziest thing we've seen in bodybuilding in a long time.
You know what I love about that, Milos? In an age, and this is going to make me sound fucking old and like a bro scientist, but I don't care. In an age where everybody's doing these one-armed fucking machine movements for back, Derek is the only guy that's still doing fucking barbell rows, fucking T-bar rows. I still see him doing all the old school shit, and he's got the best back out of everybody.
Yeah, but 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 always,
I don't see anybody else doing it.
He's always had a good back.
C-Bum. C-Bum does it, right?
Yeah, C-Bum's back is doubled in size from when he started.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, you go.
That's the craziest back improvement I've seen in recent history. 2019 to 2020, what C-Bum did is unseen anywhere.
I just feel
especially staying within his weight cap, because you have open guys, they got no limit on that, right? So to bring up a body part, there's no weight.
I don't want to take anything away from using machines, because I think everything has its place, but I feel like guys today have gotten away from using more free weight shit for back, and I think I think you can see it in the back development. I don't see a lot. There was a period of time where everybody had a great back, like in Ronnie's era. Everybody you had to have a good back just to get on stage.
Yeah, but to be fair, Samson doesn't use a lot of free weights in anything.
But right? he started in the last year, and his back has changed dramatically. Samson, ever since me and Samson worked together at my gym here about 1.5 years ago, he started doing rack deads. He started doing barbell rows. He started doing like more free weight shit. And
he was drug free then.
He was what?
He was drug free with you in the
yeah. No, but he started doing a lot of that free weight shit and changed his form a little bit, and I think his back has changed dramatically in the last 1.5 years. So I just think it works. I think it works. And when you see somebody like Derek or James, James barbell rowing 4 plates, got his back as thick as fuck. So I just think it works. But anyway, Milos.
Yeah.
I asked Samson the same question. Who do you think is going to be in the top 10 that wasn't in the top 10 last year, other than Crizzo? You already said Crizzo is top 10. Tonio, you think he's going to be top 10?
Yeah, Regan and Antonio.
Do you think people like Charles, Roman, Justin, Presti, you think these guys have a chance to break in the top 10?
They'll do. Look, I mean, Justin, beautiful shape. He just didn't deliver last time. Now, if he delivers, all of a sudden he becomes contender.
When you say delivers, you mean conditioning?
Yeah, conditioning, right? It was. We were expecting more, right?
I was because what I was expecting was his conditioning from the USA's.
Yeah, I mean,
and when he showed up in Chicago, his shape was there, but he did not have the conditioning he had at the USA.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, look, that's Mr. Olympia. So when we talk about it, I don't even have to mention those guys are all great, so we can praise them. They made it to the Olympia.
Yeah,
of
course.
So when I start talking, and then Milos, you always criticize, and I'm not. It's very easy to throw the compliments, compliment, kiss ass. Yeah, everybody's It's so easy, and then everybody's gonna like you.
No, yeah, I ran into the same problem, Milos, because when Andrew started winning shows, people said Andrew's going to win the Olympia, and I started giving critique, and people were like, "Oh, you hate Andrew." I'm like, "No, I don't hate Andrew. If we're going to talk about him in terms of winning the Olympia, then you have to compare him to Mr. Olympias." So
what is the thing? It's like whose physique would I personally want to have? I'm like, Andrew's way up there, but do I think he's going to be Mr. Olympia? No, like
well, there's also a difference in just saying somebody has a nice physique and saying compared to Olympians, this is what I see. So go on. Sorry, Milos, you're right. It's everybody up there is amazing, but
everybody's amazing.
Comparing that lineup.
Look, I said the 7 guys down to Hunter Labrada. He's 7th in my list. If the perfect style alignment for them, they came, but just, sometimes you nail crazy fullness, crazy dryness, crazy, if this happens and somebody else is a little bit off, and then he get that momentum and get that energy and stage presence, and now dominates confidently on the stage, it could happen. Like when I look at Hunter Labrada, okay, Hunter, put him next to Hadi Choopan. This is like, they shouldn't be compared. Why? Why would they not be compared? Oh, but seniority and listen, I was in the 90s when Chris and Ronnie was 8th and 9th, and then a week later we're beating Nassar, somebody that was second to Dorian that could have beat him on the stage at 97 Olympia. Okay, so it's like 8th and 9th, 1 week later.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, Milos. Judges are there for a reason. They understand who's gonna they have an idea of who's gonna place where before the final call-outs. So like where do you draw the line? Like should number 1 be compared to number 15?
If number 15 looks crazy, why not?
Well, because he's not gonna look
15th at the 99 Olympia, he looked fucking conditioning great. Like, why not? You probably don't. Maybe you remember because you were there. 2006, IBB sent a letter.
Yeah.
The SV complained about not enough comparison.
I do remember that.
Okay. Top 10 are going to be crisscrossed.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Top 10. Okay. And I was delighted. 2007, first show, Ironman. I'm there. I had 5 guys. 5 guys. And you're there. And the 2 comparisons, okay, prejudging is over. I said, what? So I got in trouble, because I complained.
But Milos, you have to admit that judges are seasoned enough to know that the guy in 3rd is fucking way better than the guy in 9th majority of the time.
Okay, majority of the time. Let's rewind to 2004 Olympia. I have a Gustavo Badel that was not on a radar.
Yeah, nobody.
He was not top 10.
Yeah.
And he was 12 guys were called before him. And he was 13th guy out. Okay, he has no business being compared to those guys. And guess what? Top 10, top 8, top 6, and finished 3rd. Given a chance.
No. But listen, I agree with you. But this is why they have the individual. They have they bring out all the guys by number. Then they have an individual round. By the time the comparisons come around, they already know if Gustavo looks good enough to compare to Dennis James. Like they're not, you know what I mean? Like they have a good enough idea. These guys are professional judges. They're not going to compare
for sure. And maybe listen for them.
It's like, look, I'll give you an example. Sorry, 1 second. I was 16th at the only Olympia I did. Okay. Phil Heath won. No, who won that show? Phil Heath won that show, I think, or no, Jay won the show. I can't remember. Anyway, no. Sorry, Dexter won that show. Dexter won in 2008. Should I have been compared with Dexter?
No, you're
Or
16th.
Jay?
You're not top 10.
So you're saying only top 10?
Yeah, if deserving of comparison. Now here's I'm gonna put you on the spot, and Ben is here. Is Hunter Labrada way outclassed by Derek and Hadi that he should not be compared to them?
No, I don't believe that. I agree with you there because, like, I was just thinking that as you were talking. Somebody like Crizzo, like I have Crizzo in like 8th, I think. So Crizzo could be compared with 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6. But if let's say Hadi looks fucking wild, or Samson is peeled like Ronnie Coleman 98, I'm not going to put Crizzo next to Samson. I just don't think the comparison.
You don't know what Crizzo's going to look like. What if Crizzo's on like?
Okay, if Samson is 98 Coleman shredded, there's nothing Crizzo could do to be compared to win against Samson, because he just doesn't have the body parts yet. So it's like this is what professional judges do, though. They know, okay, even if Crizzo is 1,000% best he's ever been, he's shredded, and Samson is Ronnie Coleman shredded, there's no way Crizzo is going to beat Samson, or Crizzo is going to beat Hadi if they're both 10 out of 10. So they're not going to put them next to each other if there's no point.
Yeah, well, there's only point of would the audience fans like to see it, so what if he's outclassed? I mean, I don't want to.
That's a different. That's a different discussion. That's a different discussion.
Yeah.
If we're talking Milos, if we're talking like entertainment, if the show if the show wasn't 5 hours long, I would love to see everybody compared just for fun.
Yeah, but back in my time, not maybe your time, you're still not, they would allow 15 comparison in symmetry, 15 muscularity. It would be, so what are we talking about?
But hear what but did you hear what I just said?
3 minutes for comparison, maybe.
Yeah, no, but did you hear what I just said? If the time wasn't 5 hours long, so back when
they didn't have classic.
When you were competing, it was just bodybuilding and fitness. Right? So the shows were only an hour long, 2 hours long. Now they have bikini and men's physique and classic. So it's like they can't.
Classics like 52 of them last year.
So I think it's more in an effort to save time.
Yes, I do know. Listen, I started Steve Weinberger, Tyler Mannion, Sandy. They can glance and they can see, and probably within 2 minutes they can see who is winning. And it's so for them, they don't need it, but they know the other people have to be convinced too.
Right.
And so what? Prove it and give us another round and give us another round.
Look, Milos, as far as entertainment goes, I'm 100% on your side. I would love to see like even just 2-man callouts. I think those are so fun. You put Crizzo next to Andrew, or put Hunter next to Hadi, and like just do 2-man callouts. Fans would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
But all I was saying before is like you said, the judges are of a level that they already know kind of who belongs where. So I think that's why they don't do that massive jump from like 1st to 10th. But I don't agree with you entertainment wise anyway.
Okay, so from a competitive standpoint, Hadi, right? Hadi, for me, he was 3-time champions since 2019. I see him winning 2019 and 2021. And now when I said that again, they say, oh, you're contradicting yourself because Brandon has a shape and Hadi had a conditioning, right? Yeah. But and I'm totally Brandon fan. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But the difference in shape and difference in conditioning, and balance, because balance was a major thing, upper body, lower body, so I would sway Hadi's way.
Sure.
Now coming, so it's mixed, it's filters. You have to throw all that in.
Yeah. What's really interesting is that wasn't Hadi's best look last year.
It's worse. Worse condition.
Yeah.
Worse condition, but he won. So let's focus on this one. Hadi was way more conditioned in any other previous show, and this was his worst. But he added the fullness and size. # bodybuilding. # all the filters. not hashtag conditioning. I mean, seriously. It says, oh, Milos, you want to talk in favor of your guys. Hadi is not my guy, and I see him winning 3 times.
Yeah.
Andre is not my guy. I see him, doing great. Brandon is not my guy.
But I think ultimately what we're getting from this conversation, or what I'm getting from you, Milos, is it's not 40-30-30. It's 33-33-33. It's even. It really is, because if it was 40-30-30, you would have picked Derek over Hadi.
Hey. Yeah. But listen, Hadi is very hard, to ignore. He has everything, okay? So if you look just shape, that's what I say, shape is one thing and aesthetics the other thing.
Right.
Yeah. He has everything. He has wide shoulders, decent V-taper, full legs, rock hard, and front, back, side. I mean, back was not ripped, but he has a huge lats. He opens up those lats. He's like crazy. Even next to Big Ramy, I was telling Dennis back in the day, I said, Hadi looks just as wide, next to Big Ramy, and he's way more conditioned, things like that. So Hadi is just too complete, nothing missing. And I assume they're going to bring more conditioning from the back.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he has to. Yeah.
For sure.
And, would that, put him down in size? I
don't think so. I think he's added more muscle this year.
Yeah.
So he's going to be more conditioned and bigger than he was last year.
Hadi was ripped 8 weeks out. You've seen that video.
I saw it. Yeah.
It's like conditioning king. I mean, we say worst conditioning. His worst conditioning was still best on the stage last year, right?
No.
Who was better conditioned?
I actually think Derek was better conditioned. Not as dense.
It's a different look.
Yeah, but not as dense. But better conditioned.
Well, from the back, Derek's condition was 10 out of 10.
Yes.
From the front, it's 6 out of 10.
Fuck, 6 out of 10. So that's so.
I'm being generous.
That's steep. Okay.
Milos, you're so exaggerate so much. 6 out of 10.
Hold on a second. You've seen any deep abs, intercostal stride?
But I don't think that's muscular. I don't think that's condition. I think it's density and muscularity. Like, I don't think he had any fat on his body, but he's not as dense from the front as he is from the back. It's kind of like Andrew. It's like Andrew. Andrew from the front is wild, 10 out of 10. From the back, it's not as impressive, but I don't think he's has the density or the.
I could never explain to you how can somebody be so bone dry from the back and from the front look soft. I mean, he did look soft. He looked soft to me 2021 when he won the 212.
Yeah.
And I told you.
I think he just has a different look. Like Phil Heath used to get completely shredded, but he didn't look grainy like Ronnie Coleman or Dorian Yates.
That's what I was saying. She's a different look, like the texture of that. Like some people will be hard and vascular, and others
the skin
are like
is different.
Victor Martinez, right? Will be like clean.
It's like Samson. Like as hard as Samson ever gets, he's never going to have that grainy skin.
Yeah, probably. When you say Ronnie Coleman 98 conditioning, I mean, we all wish that this is possible. You have to what did I say? I told him, like, please go have some carbs, tonight, because he, when you go for this, okay, just condition, just a flat dish, and then he lost that pop, like, he's not flat.
Yeah.
He's flat for Samson. Yeah.
Right.
But that's what I mean. Maybe Derek was slightly flat from the front, and because then you lose that condition.
Yeah.
Well,
the only thing
his legs are downsized, and
the only thing I think you need to make sure you do with Samson is don't do what they did with Andrew at the Arnold, because I remember Andrew at the Arnold, they tried to bring more condition, and he ended up a little bit stringier than the previous shows. Yeah. And then at the Texas, they found a good balance, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Ben was there cheering for Labrada, right? And there was when he came on the scene, Andrew in Texas a year ago, he was super impressive. He was like, okay, a condition was not maybe there, but there he was not stringy. I agree with you.
Right.
For Arnold Classic, I mean, it's stupid to say classic physique stringy, no, because he's far away from classic
Exactly.
physique.
Yeah.
But that shape and all that stuff and legs from the side, that's where Samson dominated.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I agree.
and
I agree.
that's when he stamped. Otherwise, from
Well,
the front, Andrew is
that's where in Texas, that's when Texas where I was having arguments, not arguments, but from the back and from the side, he was subpar. Hunter was more an even. I the first 2 rounds I had Hunter ahead, and then every round that went on, I just shrunk down in my seat.
All right, listen, guys, we got to. I'm gonna head off because Milos, we've been on for like an hour and a half before you got here.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on. But I still need to get an answer from you. Is the team of midgets or the team of fat people win the soccer
Midgets
match?
win, man.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Yeah, because fat slabs can't run, can't do shit.
Fat slob. You can't say fat slobs anymore. You have to you have to have
sugar coated. How should I say? You know, how should I say? The guys that slightly hold water. they carry Pacific Ocean around the waist.
I love you.
Yeah, but they carved up for 20 fucking years.
I spilled them over.
Milos, you know how much I love it when you come on the show. All we do is argue. Okay, I got your top 10.
Uh-huh.
What are you gonna do if you lose?
I didn't bet for the goddamn hair. You know,
okay, you're not gonna bet your. Okay, will you get a tattoo?
Okay, but so this is my judging. Now I'm going to tell you what I think judge is going to see. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll write it down right here. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What I think judge is going to see. They're going to put Samson first, Derek second, Hadi third, Brandon fourth. Okay. Who am I saying? Yeah. Nick fifth.
Then what?
And then, this can, that all depends which Brandon shows up. Yeah, okay. And then Andrew 6 and Hunter 7, unless Hunter comes more improved and Andrew not as good, they would probably give a Hunter over Andrew. And then listen, Hunter beat Nick before, okay? So if and he beat Nick not even being in a great condition. So if Hunter brings crazy condition, he can still beat Nick. But okay, let's focus on this. First, second, third. I think judge is going to give it to Samson, Derek second, and Hunter third. Oh, no, not Hunter. Hadi third.
I'll take that. I'll take the first one.
So you think, Samson's going to win either way, whether it's you or the judges. You think Samson's going to win?
I think so. He just has too much.
Yeah.
He's too much.
If he is remotely conditioned, then everyone's fucked.
What do you mean remotely?
It's the only piece.
He's basically saying, Milos, if you did your job, then he's going to win.
No, look, if Samson did his job, it's easy to sit here and type and tell them do this, do this.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap it there. Milos, thanks for coming on for the end.
Hold on. What did you say? Your top 5, top 10.
Mine?
Yeah.
One second.
Now that I'm here.
My top 10 is for sure going to win. This is my top 10 here.
Where? Put Samson, Hadi, Derek, Nick.
It's close. It's similar.
Tony Regan. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
And how about Ben?
This is Ian.
Derek.
No, Samson in fourth. That's rough.
Yeah. Mike's got Samson third.
Ian is a hater because I can't pronounce his name.
He's a hater. This is Abdullah. Abdul here. Abdullah's got this.
All right. And Roman Fritz didn't say nothing. And Ben didn't say nothing.
I didn't ask Ben because Samson was on. I didn't want to put Ben on the spot. But now that
okay, all right.
Now that Samson's gone, you can fill him in. Go ahead.
Samson, Derek, Hadi, Brandon, Hunter, Nick, Andrew.
Brandon,
Hunter, Nick. He's going to be pissed at that. Andrew, Krizo, Tonio, Regan.
Yeah.
Oops.
All right.
All right. They're
Okay,
open.
guys. Just so you know, I didn't have a breakfast yet because I said, okay, I'm going to come on board.
I didn't either. Hey, Milos, what do you think of the 1 meal a day diet?
It's idiotic.
Wait. No. It gets better. Fouad, tell Milos what the fucking 1 meal
No,
a day
that's
is.
not. That's not.
No, go on. Tell him. Tell him what the 1 meal a day
Whatever
is.
I feel like. Whatever I feel like.
Which is usually what?
Sometimes pizza. Sometimes.
I mean, yeah, okay, come on. You're too smart, too intelligent, too educated to know that you're giving a wrong advice. Somebody asked me, hey, what do you think about that OMAD diet? I said, what the fuck is OMAD?
That's 1 meal a day.
1 meal a day. I said,
Yeah.
for the love of God, yeah. Yeah.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Milos. It feels really good.
It feels really good.
It does, for real.
Hey, not nourishing your body 24 hours a day properly.
23. 23
You load
hours.
up on calories,
23 hours I don't nourish. The fourth I nourish.
and you don't even nourish.
You're
load
not
it-
nourishing in that 1
calories.
hour. That's not nourishing it.
Yeah. You know what? When you get to rich and spoiled like you, then you do the crazy shit like that. Yeah, knock yourself out, man. 1 meal a
Milos, I've lost 10 pounds on this fucking diet.
Yeah.
And I feel great.
It's called it's called losing the lean body mass,
I lost muscle.
aging, creating metabolic disturbances that's going to catch up with you sooner or later. So you're telling people, okay, don't eat anything. And then
I'm
eat
not
whatever.
telling wait, I'm not telling people anything. My opinion of bodybuilding is very different. Obviously, if you're training, you try to put on muscle. Obviously, the traditional bodybuilding diet is balanced diet is the best way to go. I'm not telling anybody to do what I'm doing. I'm telling you, for my purposes, my productivity at work is much better. My workouts are still great. My stomach feels flat all day long, which I really need because my insulin sensitivity is really shit. So not eating is creating more insulin sensitivity. And then having 1 meal a day, and Ben's right, it probably shouldn't be crap, but having 1 meal a day is kind of all I need.
Yeah. Why don't you stretch it to 1 meal a week?
I thought about it. You know, Ben did.
Let's
Milos,
try the book.
Ben did like a 4-day fast. He said he felt great.
Yeah, because that's a reset. I was trying to reset everything.
That's what I'm doing. I'm resetting. I'm
Yeah,
resetting.
listen, everybody's resetting. Why did you get to the point that you need to reset? That's what I'm talking about. Every human being that is listening to this conversation, we all know what to eat. Oh, I should choose French fries and burger, or chicken and potato and broccoli and shit like this. So you put each meal, nourish what you need for next 3 hours, next 4 hours, next 5 hours, whatever. And that's, you don't get out of shape.
Right. I agree with
And you nourish yourself, you energize yourself,
Right.
you keep your,
1000% right.
yes. But why? Just because we are weak and this is easier. So I'm just not going to think about it and I'm going to eat whatever.
Milos,
Oh,
I tell you know, my 3-day reset came after I spent 4 days with Fouad. And that's not a lie either. We got
Good
back
luck.
from New York and I was like, fuck this, I'm not eating for 3 days because we ordered pizza so many fucking nights with you.
We only had pizza once. This guy's fucking lying.
All right.
Milos, I like food. What do you want from me? I'm a food addict.
You know, so whatever you like. Okay, what are pizzas or burgers or
Pizza.
Yes, all of the above.
Yeah.
pizza? You can have a cauliflower pizza with
delicious.
bresaola or chicken and some.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's good. Hey, one time I'll serve you and you're gonna be shocked.
You're
Close
good?
your eyes and I feed you. You're gonna say, "What the hell?"
This is
Something
this
burger.
is what Samson's doing, huh? The cauliflower pizza.
No, you know what? I don't even want to know what he's doing. I don't want to know. I know that Fouad break it to me. You know what? He's still doing that pizza. Like, oh shit. So I asked Marlena, "Hey, how big is that pizza?"
He's not doing pizza during prep.
3 boxes.
He's not doing pizza during prep though.
He's doing pizza today.
Is he really?
Yeah,
He probably
did it
fucking,
last weekend.
fucking needs it. Who cares? It's okay.
He needs it. Yeah, he needs
Yeah.
it.
See, like me, I need it. That's the same
All
thing.
right. All right.
10 IU and a big
You need
pizza.
as much as heart attack, but doesn't matter. Okay.
Milos, I love you, Ben. Thanks for sticking around, having a good time. And
All right, guys.
I'll catch you
See
guys
you,
next
see
week.
you in
Olympiad.
Armando.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.